And a brand trusted nationwide. We are Farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
What is up? What is up? Welcome into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Y'all know who I am, your sports mixologist, back at the house at Flynn Broadcasting Center, back there where the Family Leisure Studios and Family and Fun come together. We got my man Austin Eldridge holding down the fort because my man Gabe Kuhn is sitting right here next to me. He's out here at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational, and it is the real deal Holyfield this year. It feels a lot different. It looks a lot different. It is totally different from where we park to basically everything. I have to say, though, it is first class. You definitely want to be here. If you're one of the unfortunate people, though, in this world who have not gotten your tickets, you are so lucky because the great people at East End Bar and Grill right there at Hacks Cross in Winchester, Miller Coors, have come together with Sports 56, 87.7 FM and 96.1, and we're going to be out there tomorrow, 4:30 to 6 o'clock, and yes, basically giving away the last of the free tickets to this year's tournament. So you're definitely not going to want to miss out on that tomorrow. But while I'm out here, we got a lot of stuff to get to. We got all kinds of things going on in the world of sports. But first, I want to thank our amazing sponsors, Landers Ford, Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf Center, Memphis Paints, Blue City Cafe. We were down there last night balling, weren't we? Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, Ronnie Grizzani's, Gatlin Insurance. You know my man Chad, don't you? Just think MemphisFarmers.com. Curry and Jerk. Get it together, folks. It's in the heart of downtown Memphis, and it's the real Caribbean. And don't forget my man Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment. That's the real deal Holyfield. Now, first and foremost, I would talk about this golf tournament, except for it's not going on right now.
Yep.
But you know what is going down? Zion Williamson, who is one of the guys that we all remember, and we think about him as one of the most explosive players of all time. We don't know necessarily if this guy's going to be an all-star, an all-NBA player, a transcendent player. We don't know what he's going to be, but we know one thing. He's rich. 7 years, $75 million to go with, that's right, Nike and the Jordan brand. And let me tell you a little secret. I have to ask this question, but I already feel like I know the appropriate answer. But I'm going to ask my man Gabe, who's next to me, and then I'm going to explain to him if he's right or wrong. Who is this more valuable to? Is this 7 years and $75 million actually more valuable to Zion Williamson, who hasn't proven himself in the NBA? I mean, we don't know what he's going to be. Or is this better actually for Nike, and did they get a bargain?
Well, I would say definitely probably Zion. I mean, you can't tell until he plays, honestly. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but Jordan is a high brand. I mean, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul.
Yep, big
Jimmy
ballers,
Butler,
everybody,
good names in there. So, I mean, he's going to have to be on that level for them to really make their money off of it.
For that 7 years, $75 million. But do you want to know why I'm going to go the other way and I say this is so valuable? And if I was Adidas or New Balance or any other shoe company, Puma, big baller brand, and if I had $100 million, $150 million, you know what? I might have given it to him for this one reason. Not because I think he's going to be transcendent, not because I think he's going to be an all-NBA player or an all-star, but you know what I could have done in every single damn ad? I could have shown him blow out of his shoe at Duke in his Nike Jordan brand shoes. That is worth, or Nike, just Nike, his Nike shoes, and you could say all of a sudden him opening up his new pair, and it's like, oh, and it's like the Zion Williamson, the brand better than Nike. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you could have spun that in so many ways that no matter if he was good, you could have dominated the marketing for the next 3 years while we're watching him develop, and that would have been worth $150 million to that shoe company.
When he blew out of his shoes, I thought for a fact that he was not going to go to Nike or Jordan. And then I heard Puma, I heard rumblings, I heard Adidas rumblings. But in the end, I guess Jordan is the way to go. I mean, if you're going to get a sponsorship right when you get in the league, that's where you want. I mean, you can't ask for any higher than that.
No, they are the creme de la creme. They are the best of the best, and I agree. And I understand. Look, $75 million on top of what he's getting as the first overall pick. Zion's a $100 million man. He's set for life. We don't know, again, if he's going to be an all-star, an all-NBA player, or transcendent. We know one thing. He's rich, baby. But, again, for me, I can't believe I'm saying this, and it's very difficult for me to ever say that an unproven player is worth $75 million. But this young man, again, is worth it because of that lasting image that I think another brand could have burned into the psyche of future basketball players. Do you want to blow out in Nike, or do you want to ball out in Zion's?
To the tune of that.
Tell me that. I should be a marketing director.
Here's the thing is I think even before he steps foot on a basketball court, he will sell so much merchandise.
Me
it's
too.
Not even funny.
Me too.
So I think they might make their profit up front, but
that's a good point.
Obviously he's gonna have to. I mean, if they wanted this to be a long-lasting thing, he's gonna have to be on the same level as the Chris Pauls, the Jimmy Butlers.
If he becomes an all NBA player,
course.
Let me tell you something. This is going to be a bargain like nobody's business.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a basement bargain. But the question is,
it's weird. You're saying 7 years, $75 million
it's
is a bargain, but it is what it is.
It's insanity. But again, I would think if I was New Balance to burn him busting out of a shoe, and again, if I was a PR agent, I could have spun this thing so many different ways, like put my mad mind and a microphone, and let me do this thing with Zion. It's over, dog. I'm selling more shoes than anybody on planet Earth.
They should have done a commercial if he would have signed with New Balance. It said, "This is what happens when you wear New Balance," and they do that same thing and it doesn't bust.
Oh, they could have said something.
They could have spun it. I see what you're saying.
They could have spun it so sick, but anyway.
But at the same time, you got to go with Jordan if they're
But
on
anyway,
the table.
yeah, he did go with the biggest baller. He did go with the big one, and this is kind of weird because I don't jump on the NBA usually a whole lot. I like baseball. I like football. We got day baseball going on right now. We got tons of day baseball out there. I'm going to give a free play right off the bat just because I won the only game, and good job.
Better night last night.
One. Yes, 1-0, 3-star play. Needed that. Needed that one. But yes, today though, I'm looking at two games, and they're going at 2:45, I believe, and they are very, very simple. Cubs have gotten their brains beat out by San Francisco in late fashion. Pablo Sandoval hit one out in the 13th inning last night for walk. Did you see that bad boy? Walk-off fashion. Were you up that late?
No, I did catch the end of the I was up that late. I caught the end of the Angels and Dodgers game where
nice.
They threw him out at the plate to end the game.
I was
cool.
going to say that was pretty dead gummed up. You saw a good one.
Yeah.
But yes, last night in the 13th inning, San Francisco, big fat Pablo, who's filling in for Evan Longoria, who's on the DL right now, comes up and jacks one in the 13th inning after the bullpen for the Giants blow it, and then they come back and take it. I think the Cubs, though, with John Lester on the mound, I don't think they let the Giants sweep them. I think Lester comes out there like a madman. I think the Cubs come out there and their bats go crazy. Giants are on fire, don't get me wrong. There's not a team hotter in baseball than the San Francisco Giant team. I don't think people realize.
What about the Cardinals?
They're now 2 games over 500. They're 52-50.
What about the St. Louis Cardinals? That's a hot team. That's 9 of their last 11.
Yeah,
they're a half game out of first place.
That is true, but isn't it like what? Like, what are they, 13 in their last, 16 or something?
And to that, I would say they haven't really played a tough schedule coming out of the All-Star break. So we'll see how it ends up, but they are only a half game out.
St. Louis, beat San Francisco did beat St. Louis 2 games to 3, and that was back in right there, I believe, before the All-Star break.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't right up against the All-Star break, I don't believe.
It was in July. It's this month. I can't remember if it was I found it right here. Here's the date. They played on the 12th, 13th, and of course 7th, 12th, 13th. That's when they played or something. Yeah, there it is. No, 5th, 6th, and 7th. There it is. Found the dates. But anyway, San Francisco beat them. So that's why I'm just saying, if you go back to that, they've beaten Milwaukee in a series, St. Louis in a series, Colorado in a series, the Mets in a series, and now they're 2-0 to the Cubs. I'm trying to say, if you look at that, that's called winning, damn it. And you didn't expect this from San Francisco, yo.
See, I didn't even expect it from St. Louis out of the break, though, as well.
That's
but
true.
Yeah, no, you definitely didn't expect it out of the Giants. They're about. From what I'm hearing, they're trying to deal
I
Madison,
thought they were
right?
that's exactly what I was going to say. I thought they were going to deal Bumgarner. Now you're right there. Realistically, you're like 3 games out from
No, but You're talking about the NL West right now.
Yeah, I'm just talking about. I'm
I mean,
talking about
wild card. Yeah, but I don't know. There's definitely some ground that they have to make. Well, actually, I don't know where they are right now, but there's definitely a situation where they're going to have to continue this if they want to.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Get to the top of
if
the
they
wild card.
keep winning, it's going to make it hard for management to do anything. Because, again, winning cures pretty much everything. And even Madison Bumgarner said that last night.
Because right now in the wild card, they have Washington, St. Louis, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee right ahead of them. So they have some ground to make up. Obviously, they're only
two
games out.
I was going to say they're 2 games out.
I get that.
So
I understand,
yesterday they were 3 games.
But, I mean, this is at times when you go on streaks like this, you're going to cool off.
And you also, though, by the way, you have a Washington team that, they – I still am not a believer in them. St. Louis, you're not even a believer in. Philadelphia, who's in front of them, is going so south it's not even funny. What is up with Milwaukee? Their run differential, how many people know this, is a division worst, -13. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, how many people? That's what I'm saying is think about what I just
Cardinals
said.
can't be that much.
Philadelphia is the only one that's
much
worse.
better than that.
It's -16. It's pretty scary and sad. That's like way up there. I mean, it is absolutely insane. I mean, Arizona, who's behind San Francisco, is at least +61 in their run differential. So anyway, point is, I'm just saying there's a lot going on in baseball as well. We have a lot of day baseball going on, and real quickly, Rays are up 3-2 on the Red Sox. You have the Rockies and Nationals in a 2-game little doubleheader action. Game 1, Colorado 1-0 over the Nationals in the 4th. Phillies and Tigers 0-0. Again, the Tigers stink, and the Phillies still 0-0 because they're just going in the wrong direction. I can't figure it out. And the Reds, speaking of hot, what about Suarez? This dude's hitting home runs to win games like it's going out of style. Nobody even knows who that third baseman is. Dude is a bad mamma jamma.
He's got some pop.
Dude's got pop like nobody's business. And then, of course, we have the Athletics and Astros. They just started the top of the first 0-0, as well as the Reds Brewers 0-0 top of the first. But now, back to something else that I wanted to get to, and it was involving, well, a little bit of NBA. And you kind of sent this to me a little bit earlier, and I thought it was fascinating, to tell you the truth. Why is it that Steve Kerr is blasting Anthony Davis? Do you actually see this as something that is an intelligent move by somebody who's usually talked about as an intelligent coach, who's very cerebral, who's calculated, does everything right, blah, blah, blah. Listen to his message. He's almost like Greg Popovich without being a jerk. He's great with the media because of his time in the media. He's a player's coach, yada, yada, yada. We've blown so much like heart bubbles up his keister. Like, I'm surprised his head hadn't flown off.
But do you read into it very much what he had to say? I mean, he's not the first one to say, trade demands are bad for the league. But there's also been people that talk about free agency and making these super teams isn't good for the league.
I was getting ready to say, the dude who brought Kevin Durant after they won 73 in the regular season.
That's sort of what I'm getting at.
I say should not say that because it makes him look like a hypocritical a-hole.
I completely agree. But the thing is, I think it was good for the league, especially the AD trade. I think it makes the West incredible. I like to see LeBron up there in the West. I think it's good for ratings, personally, because we always talked about how this playoffs was down in ratings.
God, it was
well,
so
if
bad.
LeBron gets back in it, it might be a little bit back up. I'm not saying he's
that's
the main
important.
reason.
No, hey, dude. I'm going to tell you, after looking at what happened, I don't care. That's insane drop-off.
When you talk about what the Pelicans got in return for Anthony Davis,
Zion and everybody and their grandmother,
that made
and
them
a lot
better.
Of picks and a lot more picks.
That's a 33-win team. He stopped playing when they had no chance to make the playoffs.
I think it gave the Pelicans an opportunity, and it also gave the Lakers the opportunity to win when they need to, like right dang now, because LeBron James ain't getting younger, folks. Now, quick question: is he the best player still on planet Earth?
See, that's tough, man. That's tough because you got Kawhi coming off
I'm bringing this up because of the
I would say venture to say yes.
Real quickly, I want you to think a little bit harder on this one for a second. I want to bring this up for the simple reason I was listening to Austin. I was listening to Greg and Eli at middays. It was a fascinating discussion, and they did, and I'm going to do this when we come back because we're getting close to up to a break. We'll talk with John Luke about football, and then when we come back from that, me and you are going to bring out our top 5 NBA players going into next season. And I'm not talking about what they've done in the past. I'm going to use the same parameters that middays use for their quarterbacks. Again, you had Eldridge, you had Eli, and you had Gaston, all three going, I believe, with different quarterbacks. One was Rodgers. Who was your number one, Austin?
What was that, guys?
Brees. I think Drew Brees. I think Austin had Drew. I think Eli had Aaron Rodgers.
That's the number
one. You're talking about my number one quarterback?
Yeah, who was your number one?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, got to be.
And who was Gaston?
Patrick Mahomes, followed by Tom Brady, followed by Drew Brees and Jared Goff.
Oh, okay. Jared Goff. Okay.
He had Goff up there,
Interesting
one. That what I'm trying to say is, though, I want to use the exact same parameters. Not necessarily – this isn't a, hey, dude, Tom Brady's got this many rings.
It's not statistics.
We're talking about next year. You think they can lead your team first pick in the NBA draft. You're starting all over. Who are you taking to win a championship next year? Not the next 5 years, not the next 4 years. Just deadgummit, I want to win next year a NBA championship. Who in the heck are you going to do that? Like, that's what we're going to come back with. I want all the people out there, send it in to 67129, the First Bank text line. We're going to talk about that in a little more. Coming back, John Luke, we are switching gears to talk college football. Remind you, we are at the WGC, World Golf Invitational. It is the WGC World Golf FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Can't forget the most important part, FedEx and St. Jude, the biggest sponsor and the best charity on planet Earth. But we're out here, and again, it's first class. I love the old school. For many, 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 many moons since I can remember, this tournament was the creme de la creme, and it was awesome. I didn't know they could step it up a notch the way they have. It is, honestly.
And the weather agreed, too.
The weather
That's
loves
the other
us.
thing.
But they had so much stuff every single year out here. This year, though, they went really, really, and I almost want to say overboard. But it is so awesome. There's more air conditioning places than I've ever seen. There's just more things to do this year. The golf has got the best golfers on planet Earth. I mean, literally, top 46 players on planet Earth.
So much stuff you got lost on the way up here, huh?
Oh, dude, actually, I couldn't find the media center because it was in a totally different spot this year. I had to have Gabe come find me. But anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to continue to talk everything that's going on. I hope to see y'all out here. I do want to remind you, for those who have not gotten a ticket, you have one more opportunity tomorrow, East End Bar and Grill. We're going to be out there with Miller Coors, giving away the last free sets of tickets. So you want to be there 4:30 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's right, the corner of Hacks Cross in Winchester. It's East End Bar and Grill with our friends Miller and Coors Light. We're giving away the last free passes to the WGC, the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational, and it is going to be flat out awesome. Before we go to break, putting you on the spot, DJ's won here twice. Brooks is the best in the world. They've got a ton of other people in the field. Do you have anybody that you just think is your absolute unequivocal favorite?
Brooks, right? I mean, I'm not a big golf guy, but I just know Brooks is incredible. Best in the world. So I got to go there.
He holds the number one position, by the way, in the FedEx Cup standings. But what about Dustin Johnson and the fact that he's won here twice? Does that not kind of almost a guy who's long?
Familiarity with the course, of course, is going to play into it. But like I said, not a big golf guy. So
I know. I just is kind of. I'm curious because I think Brooks is the best. That's why I like. I mean, he's going to win. I think the Player of the Year this year. He won it last year.
Uh-huh.
I think he is the best player in the world. But I do think a guy with DJ's talent, his beautiful wife, if she can leave him alone for 4 days and let him focus on golf, man, I think he's going to go out there and do what he always does.
2 wins on a familiar course. I can see where you're going.
I could see him get number 3, and that would be absolutely crazy. And could you imagine a Sunday final pairing with DJ and Brooks?
That would be fun.
Dude,
that'd be very fun.
Memphis would absolutely lose.
I'd eat it up.
It would be one of the coolest, craziest things we've ever seen, but I would love it. We got to take our break. We're coming back with my very good friend, John Luke McCord. We're going to talk a little bit of college football, the Southeastern Conference, what's going on. And I also got an announcement, by the way, which I do want to go ahead and say a big thank you. But it's University of Memphis got a huge donation today, and $13 million, huge. Congratulations to the university. It is extremely big. And also, I just want to give a big old thanks to Gary W. and Barbara Bryant. Thank you to their family trust. That is unbelievable. $13 million. Thank you, Gary and Barbara Bryant. This is I don't know if y'all realize it's the largest commitment in Memphis athletics history and the second largest gift in University of Memphis history. So big deal coming down the pipeline today over at the University of Memphis. Plus, it's going to be a big deal all weekend out here at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. We'll be right back on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stacks. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
For the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational, Landers Ford in Collierville has supplied 200 new Fords for the pros to drive. 120 new 2019 Ford Expedition XLT EcoBooster now demo priced up to $15,000 off MSRP. John Kitchens, tell us more.
A portion of the proceeds goes directly to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Visit LandersMemphis.com.
VIN number 1MFMJU 1HT7KE A06845 MSRP 61250. Offer includes $97.80 and Ford rebates and $52.20 dealer discount. Sale price $46.20. Vehicle subject to prior sale. Price plus tax title license and $499.50 processing fee. Offer in 731.19.
Are you looking for a high-quality, family-oriented country club experience? Then look no further than Windike Country Club. As a member, you have access to the men's and ladies and junior golf programs, the best par 3 in the Southeast, and 2 18-hole golf courses that you're going to absolutely love. Windike is also a great place for weddings and wedding receptions. Keep it in mind. For more details on how to become a member, call them today at 754-1888 or email membership@windike.com.
It's all about the fun, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Hi friends, I'm Shane Stanford from Christ Church Memphis. Here at Christ Church, we believe in Memphis and we believe in you. And every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we want to invite you to come hear a biblically based, Christ-centered message that talks about God's love for you and His guidance in your life. And also to hear an interview by amazing people who are doing incredible things for our city and our community. So don't miss us, 11 o'clock, right here on this station, every Sunday morning. I'm Shane Stanford. Remember, you matter.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hey, this is Peter Edmiston from the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Come join me at Edwin Watts Golf on Thursday from 12 to 1 as we celebrate the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And I want to give you tickets. Come by and putt on that beautiful green inside the beautiful building over at Edwin Watts Golf. We've got putters, we got balls, all of it for you, and you just got to sink a putt. And that'll get you an extra entry, but you get one for even coming on out and seeing me. Poplar and Perkins, Edwin Watts Golf, giving tickets away on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
What is up? What is up? Welcome into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Y'all know who I am, your sports mixologist, John Hardin. Guess where I'm at? I'm in the beautiful TP Southwind, chilling out here at the World Golf. I mean, this is the World Golf Championship, the FedEx St. Jude I mean, Invitational. We've never had this. It's actually new. It's not the classic, baby. That's now history. This is the new. This is the beginning of something special. The World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational, and it's got the best and the brightest. And I'm calling my shot. I think Sunday we're going to have Brooks and Dustin in the final pairing. That is wishful thinking, isn't it?
That's wishful thinking.
How dope would that be, though?
That would be awesome.
Oh, man, people would be going crazy. What if it was like, would you take DJ and Jordan?
Man, I'm happy with, yeah, of course.
I mean, there's so many players you would be happy with.
Big names.
They're
no
everywhere.
names, I can take that in the final pairing.
I can take any of these guys out here. This is going to be an awesome week. But while we're going to be out here all week, the PGA Tour has done a great job getting us prepared and taking great care of us. But so have our sponsors. We've got Landers Ford, Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf Center, Memphis Pates, Blue City Cafe on world-famous Beale Street. Y'all know Miller Lite, baby. Edwin Watts, Ronnie Grizzani's, and, of course, my man Chad Gatlin. Think MemphisFarmers.com. Curry and Jerk, Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment. They give us all of our love. And don't forget my man, Bill Bell. Oh, yeah, 901-406-1101 at I Buy Houses. And then my favorite barbecue, Central Barbecue, baby. But it's time to talk football with my good friend, John Luke. John Luke, let's bring him in. How's life treating you, brother?
Man, it is it can't be any better. I don't know if you've been seeing it. I know you probably have. You're outside today, but the weather's been phenomenal here in Mississippi, at least for summertime, man. We can't complain.
Oh, it's beautiful.
John, you're sitting here. Me and Gabe are out here, and this is Memphis, Tennessee. And I had to actually walk, I think, like the farthest I've walked in 10 years. Like 5 miles I trekked, I feel like. And I didn't even sweat that much. Like that in Memphis, if I walked 5 miles in a normal, like this time of the year, I probably would have died halfway here.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. But now I got to ask you, you were down at SEC Media Days last week. You got to see everything. It was pretty interesting. Last week we also talked while you were down there, right after my man Joe Moorhead. I was just wondering, after we spoke, did anything else kind of hit you? Did something else surprise you? Was there any news that we missed?
You know, I think one thing I sort of, just looking at it from a Mississippi State Ole Miss perspective, I know a lot of the comments surrounding Nick Saban certainly picked up a lot of traction. And I think and just quickly before I get to the other thought, I mean, I think a lot of sort of things I've heard, you know, in conversations I've had, you know, the football side of college football, the football side of the game has not passed Nick Saban by, but more and more, it seems like everything else in college football might be starting to pass Nick Saban by. Certainly, I don't want to knock the Alabama, you know, people off their perch or whatever, but maybe the game, the way he looks at transfers and the way roster building is evolving, I should say, maybe starting to pass Nick Saban by. We'll see, obviously, in the coming years. But that was one thought I had. Leading SEC Media Days and just hearing his comments, you know, not necessarily attacking those comments in a vacuum, but thinking overall, things are changing quickly in college football. And with these things we've talked about in recent weeks going on out in California and legislature getting involved, I think it's going to continue to change more rapidly. And so Nick Saban has had a lot of staff turnover. Where are the guys with the similar thinking? Where are the guys that he trusts that are saying, Coach, you got to evolve. We got to change the way we think right here. We know we got 150 guys over here on the computers in the staff room making $30K a year to research things. But you know, at some point, it's a mindset and it's a philosophy thing. And if college football continues to change, Nick Saban's got to catch up and certainly change the way he's looking at it currently, I would say.
Now, that just made me think of an old Bob Dylan quote or tune, you know, get out of the road if you can't lend a hand, because the times they are a-changing. And if you don't change with them, man, they're gonna run you by. That's one thing Nick's always been great about, but he also did get, like, ultimate control of the sport at one time. I mean, he was the creme de la creme and the king, and now you're looking at a guy who's totally opposite of Nick and Dabo, who's doing it more as a player coach. He's embracing the players' culture. He's embracing the transfers. He's embracing all this stuff, and it does seem like it's also working for him. I'm not saying anything. Nick Saban is awesome, but I'm just saying that when you brought that up, it will be interesting. Now, I'm going to pay a lot more attention after you brought that up, John Luke.
And think about this too. Here, this is just, and you mentioned a lot of footnotes there, and I think just another footnote to keep in mind is the narrative surrounding Dabo's program. And certainly, they've built it, and credit to them. But no one really mentions within that narrative, hey, Clemson's one of the strictest schools out there when it comes to recruiting their players. Their committed guys aren't able to go on visits, and I understand Clemson can be selective. It can have a rule like that. You can wrap it in that label as it has been, or you could say, hey, that's something that gets overlooked right here when we're labeling Dabo's program as the most fun in the country. And then you look at Nick Saban. It seems like we always hear those storylines. We always are talking on those points when Nick Saban has gray-shirted a kid or cut a kid because he's got a better five-star coming in. And so I think it's just the way you control the narrative around your program. Dabo seems to have a better touch with the media, and I think that's the one thing that stands out with me, where Nick Saban is more likely to trust a few guys and be a little bit more brash with the overall group, whereas I think Dabo, again, has the stroke, as well knows the media that he can use on a bit, to get bigger news out, or that where he needs to leak things, or and which media to be kind with. And so I think that's one element I would look at here is starting to, when you say something like the game away from the field and away from X's and O's are starting to maybe pass Nick Saban by. I think those are the things you look at.
I have to agree fully, John Luke. And the thing that really got me from Nick Saban and Dylan Moses last week is the fact they said they weren't prepared for the national championship. What did you make of that? Do you attribute that to sort of what you're talking about, the game passing him by and making excuses, or what did you make of that?
Well, and it seems like the thing is, in the past, Nick Saban, outside of, I remember that first Sugar Bowl, and they lost to Utah when he was still establishing this program, or that Alabama program. But they've always, no matter how dominant they've been, they've talked, they've acted, and they've worked like they weren't the best team in the country. And from what you highlight right there, not being ready, not being prepared. I think they were not ready for a team to be that much better than them. They couldn't wrap their minds around that a team might be on their level or ready to do that to them if they didn't bring their A game. And that, to me, goes into preparation, and that was once an immaculate area for Saban.
I mean, that's just the weirdest thing to me because, I mean, when you talk about I'm a former college football player, so, like, when you talk about the national championship, you talk about bowl games, you talk about big games during the season, especially in SEC play. I don't understand, especially with the national championship, how you can't be ready and how you sort of feed that information to your fans and in the media. It just seems very weird. It sort of seems not Saban-like to me.
Well, I think, again, to me, I attribute it as we were not ready to have to play our best to beat someone. You look back at that LSU game and the way they won that game that night.
Ugly.
I don't think they were challenged in a way where they had to bring their best and still get some breaks and still create some turnovers to go beat a team. And they went out there and they played their B-plus game and they got ran off the field. Again, I think we were not ready for a team to be for Clemson to have called us that quickly in overall talent, maybe. I'm with you. Those quotes kind of baffled me, and the fact that not only Saban would show up and sort of speak and have the things come out the way he said them, but have players there that aren't buttoned up and not letting that narrative out. Because every one of the players who fairly coached up and ready to put out the narrative their teams were ready to, the stories they were ready to tell.
All right, now I got to ask you a very hard question because you were down at SEC Media Days. You brought up something that I think was fascinating about Nick Saban. I think that was a very, very forward-thinking observation that you had. That was beautiful. Now I want to know about your observation of my man Jimbo Fisher. And the reason I bring up Jimbo, we can talk all we want. You can think it, you can cut it, you can slice it any way you want to. There are only 4 coaches. Well, they're not. Now there's only 3 because Meyer's done. There's only 3 active coaches right now, and that's Jimbo, Dabo, and Saban that have a national championship. Do you realize that? 3 coaches that are currently active that have a national championship. There were 4, and then Urban Meyer, he's gone from Ohio State, so now we only have 3. The reason I ask you that is because the way Jimbo, yes, he has a national championship, and, you got Scott goes over there and brings in Jimbo Fisher because he has that championship, and he was at that time one of 4 coaches that had one. But if you look at Florida State and what they have been left in. Yes, they've gotten some talent over at Texas A&M, and things look going good. I'm just curious, when you were around Jimbo and you saw him, did you feel like he was more of a salesman, or is he more substance?
He feels like a salesman to me. Yeah, it's the energy level. It feels real at times, but sometimes he's talking and the energy level is the same way. The smile is still gleaming at you, and he's not telling you as positive of information. It's just, to me, I think that, and look, it's a credit to him. A lot of these guys, that's what they are. They're in the business of selling kids and selling fans, and that's a big aspect of their job. But Jimbo seems to me to know the right expression to wear to get you to buy whatever he wants to say. And so I think a lot of that is going on with Jimbo. One thing that really struck me, and it's a small detail if you weren't there, but it just the way he approached the mic at first, and you might have been watching on TV, just he gave the old Texas A&M howdy, but he was so aggressive, at least in his comments. You guys are supposed to say howdy back, and it's uncomfortable, and no one's a fan right there, and it's just like, let's not have this whole introduction going on. So I think that it's part of the pitch, and so it does feel like a pitch to me. But look, with all that said, I think he's a matter of getting the right quarterback away from doing what he set out to do right there. And especially if he can get one to stay around 2-3 years, I think he's going to have a real shot to make a run at the national title. And I think we also have to note what we were just talking about earlier in this conversation with Alabama as maybe a possible reason he could climb up that high.
Yeah, and talking about the quarterback for Texas A&M, that's sort of a good transition to what I wanted to get into. I mean, Kellen Mond last week talked about how he was the best in the conference. And I'm not a guy that's going to fault him for saying that. I want you to have confidence. You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say that you think you're the best. What do you think of Kellen Mond, though, going forward in SEC play? Do you think he will be that guy for Jimbo Fisher?
Listen, I'm not going to say he absolutely cannot be the guy that I just mentioned to step into those shoes and be that guy that can help Jimbo chase down the title. I don't feel like he is, though. I feel like he's a guy that can really get hot and play well and string games together. And so if he times that out right, we see that in October, we see that in November from him this year, then certainly he's going to be lauded as one of the best in the conference.
Certainly it's not a – sorry for interrupting, but certainly it's not it's not a talent thing. It's more of a above the neck thing with him.
It's true, but what I would say is I like the sides with him. I like the way they're going to incorporate the tight end. I like the way they're going to have him back there behind that offensive line. I like what they're going to try to establish with the running game. I think Jimbo's going to run an offense right and put him in position to be successful. So I think he's going to consistently be good, and I do think, like you said, he has the talent. And so that's what allows him to get on those roles. I think he has the ability to put 3-4 weeks together of good play. And I think, again, if we see that at the right time from him, like you said, if he gets it together at the right time and starts figuring out what some of these SEC defenses are going to be trying to do to him, then I think he's got a real chance. I mean, obviously LSU's going to have Grant Delpit. That's going to be a tough night for any quarterback, I think, especially a Kellen Mond, because he's a guy that can chase him down and eliminate those legs. So he's going to really have to be good on some nights through the air. And some nights I think he's going to be able to crucify teams with his legs and get going there because, again, you lose Travion Williams there. I do think Kellen Mond's legs are much more important this year in the offense.
All right, this is John Luke McCord. He is a journalist and digital producer for, of course, Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. Check him out on Twitter. It's at JL Grindin. That's at JL Grindin. John Luke McCord, I love talking football with you. I know you're fired up. High school's coming up. Football season's getting close. I mean, 16 NFL camps.
I'm fired up.
They started out today. We're out at the golf tournament. But, man, we've been talking football, and it just gets me a little bit fired up. I got to let you go with this one last question. The East, it looks like it's unequivocally Georgia. The West, it feels like it's Alabama, but you could see some other teams battling LSU, Texas A&M, etc. I'm wondering, is there anybody realistically that can give Georgia a run in the East?
I like Dan Mullen in Florida, and I kind of like something about South Carolina. Jake Bentley, I don't as much like Will Muschamp, but listen, I think number 2 Florida and number 3 South Carolina, I think that's how they finish. But I do think one of those teams, if they are able to win in that heads-up game, I mean, obviously that's going to open things up. I would say Florida's the more serious contender there. I like the full package of the weapons they have on offense.
Man, he is John Luke McCord. I love talking with him every single Wednesday about this time. He's the best in the business. Be good and have a wonderful time,
Appreciate
man.
it, John Luke.
You too, guys. Y'all have a good one.
That's my man, JL Grinding on Twitter. Make sure you find him. It is a great follow, especially if you love sports and good journalism. Now, we're out here again at the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Thank you to our sponsors, Landers Ford, Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center. If you want to look as good as me, go to Roosters. First Bank, they're going to take care of you. Jason's Deli, just delicious. Vantage Point Golf Center, maybe you can hit like a pro. Memphis Paint, self-explanatory. Beale Street Cafe. We were down there on world-famous Beale Street last night, weren't we, Gabe?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Good time.
I love Beale Street. Miller Lite. Edwin Watts. Man, you got to get your golf balls, don't you? Ronnie Grizzani. Gatlin Insurance. Think farmers, auto, business, home, life. Think MemphisFarmers.com. And Curry and Jerk. You heard that, man. Chef Ricardo don't play no game. It's some Caribbean spices, baby. And Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment. I'm going to probably go see them after walking like 5 miles because I parked in the wrong place. Whatever y'all do, don't you dare touch that dial. We're having a lot of fun. And don't forget, if you don't have tickets, we'll be at East End tomorrow between 4:30 and 6. It's going to be rocking. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Frontier Western Store's world-famous boot showroom is waiting for you. With aisles and aisles of boots in one easy spot, you will find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Everyone loves Ariat boots, and Frontier has over 1,000 pair in that brand alone. Come grab a pair of rugged work boots like the Workhog, or discover an everyday classic in Ariat's Rambler. Tons of other brands as well: Rocky, Dan Post, Red Wing, Durango, Justin, Twisted X, and many more. Frontier constantly restocks and refreshes their lineup of boots, so you're certain to walk out of the store happy in your new comfortable footwear. They have a wide assortment of sizes available for men, women, and children. Work, dress, or play, Frontier's knowledgeable staff will cheerfully help you find the perfect fit. It's boots galore at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road, Olive Branch, or on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated, you know it, since 1967.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roofing. If you're in need of a roof, there's no better place to start than Five Ash Roofing. No matter what your situation is, we have you covered. We can walk you through the insurance process without committing fraud like many of my competitors. You'd be surprised how many times salesmen and contractors will manufacture storm damage just so they can get a sale. We do residential, multifamily, and commercial work. We're certified in every form of roofing we offer. Our labor warranties are for the life of the shingle, and we don't charge extra for that. And to my knowledge, there's no other roofing company in Memphis offering that level of security. And if that's not enough, we offer a best price guarantee. We are the official roofer of the University of Memphis Athletic Department and a proud member of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I love the real estate business. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. I've been selling real estate a long time. What I love is having people ask me how some houses sell so quickly and others sit. That's an easy answer. Any agent can sit and tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to know. I give you options and alternatives. I'm a firm believer in preparation, presentation, and proper pricing. We discuss that and my unique Shellbucks option. Beating your competition down the street or around the corner is the name of the game. So if you or someone you know is thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate agents and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why my strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option can mean the difference in whether you sit or sell. You'll find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Done. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Shell Done Rosengarten. 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar? Your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
Hey everybody, the All-Star Chevy Challenge is here. And I'm telling you, if it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is the place to go, people. Take your best written deal from any Mid-South Chevy dealer to our friends at All-Star Chevrolet, and they will beat it. Or they're going to give you a free tank of gas for the win. So now that I got your attention, yes, July is All-Star Challenge month, when you get to let All-Star Chevy beat that deal on any new Chevy or even pre-owned vehicle you want. Just take the official written deal from any other Chevy dealer, not that one your friend wrote down at the bar, and take it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. It's that simple. Not only that, they have the best testing ground of any other Chevy dealership, and when you head to All-Star Chevy, you know you got the best deal. So find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch and take the All-Star Challenge. Not in South Haven, it's gotta be Olive Branch. Or go to allstarautogroup.com right now and be amazed by all the hot new Chevys and pre-owned vehicles they have in stock. Don't miss the All-Star Chevy Challenge. You will thank me later.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar.
Al, don't ask why. Hal, don't ask why. And Al Bundy, don't ask why. Dadgummit, take your hands out of your pants, man. You know Peg's mad at you. I remember, I love that show, by the way. I watched a show that all you people are going to laugh at me. And I'm just going to tell y'all, one, if you've never seen Beer Fest, go watch it. Barry Babernack, greatest guy in the history of the world. Like, he's my hero. When I was a young man, I wanted to grow up and be Barry Babernack.
You looked up to him?
Except for the one part when he was on the street. I felt really bad for him at that time. But, boy, he could play quarters. But, you know.
He needed a little extra help, though, if I remember correctly.
I watched this show that is so old, and somebody was making fun of me, and now I can't believe it just went to my brain, and it was like the greatest show I've ever seen. Oh, well, it'll come back to me.
Well, while you're thinking of it, a little bit of news out of the NFL, more specifically the Titans.
Titans, baby.
Taylor Lewan is going to be out for a 4-game suspension due to a positive test for Osterine.
What is that?
It's probably one of those things that's in one of those
one of those
proteins,
things in one of those things
in those protein deals that he probably didn't even check for. Mm-hmm. He didn't know, but he said he didn't knowingly take Osterine, and he said he's doing a polygraph. He did it on Twitter. If you guys want to go look at it, Taylor Lewan 77. But he did a polygraph. He said he's going to release the polygraph publicly to try to prove that he never knowingly took this substance.
Dude, does he not know that polygraphs don't even count as real science, dude?
Well, either way, it doesn't matter. No matter what that polygraph says.
Hocus pocus, I didn't cheat. Bull crap, because the test said you did.
No matter what that polygraph says, he's out 4 games.
Yep.
And that's just the truth of it. I don't even know what he's been a guy that sort of makes big deals out of everything, though.
Yep, he is.
He's a louder guy.
But anyway, before we went to break, I want to remind all y'all, this is your good buddy, John Harden, your sports mixologist. We are out here at the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Tomorrow, things are getting started. I can't wait. Thursday and Friday are going to be rocking and rolling. We're all going to be out here. You got CJ and Peter doing the experience at the house, and then middays, they start. You got me, and we're going straight into Wolo, and, of course, my man, Brett Norsworthy, with a little sports time. But World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational has actually taken a step up from what the St. Jude Classic was. If you didn't get tickets this year, make sure to have your keister at the East End Bar and Grill tomorrow, 4:30 to 6, in between sports time, because I will be at East End Bar and Grill, thanks to Miller Coors and our good friends at East End Bar and Grill, giving out the last free tickets to the World Golf Championship, okay? So if you want to be out here at the FedEx St. Jude Invitational, be at East End Bar and Grill tomorrow, 4:30 to 6. It's going to be awesome. Now, it is very important that we bring up our top 5 players in the NBA. If you were drafting today, and this is in homage to middays and the way they did their quarterbacks, I want to know.
Can I say something?
Go right ahead.
Kevin Durant, can Can we just sort of leave him out of this just because of the Achilles?
I actually was going to because of the Achilles.
Okay,
he doesn't
we'll just
play
leave
next
him out
year.
of it.
He
I really think he's a top 5 player.
He's a top 5, but
I
we
can't do it right now.
We can't. He's not playing next year.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with top 5 for next year. If you were picking right now, who is your number 1 pick in the NBA?
Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh.
Best two-way player in the NBA. He can score right up there with LeBron. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly, and he just came off a championship-winning season.
And I like Kawhi. Don't get me wrong. I am still, and just because last year when he was healthy before he got injured, if you don't remember, the Lakers were the 4th in the West. They were doing very, very well. And again, he's LeBron James. You're teaming up with, with Anthony Davis. He did go to 8 straight finals in the East. He owned that joint. I used to say the man had a condo in the finals.
Yeah,
like, literally.
And the only reason I'm picking Kawhi right here
is because
LeBron was out.
He was out. He just
LeBron
did
was
it.
out, and LeBron. Let's be real. His defense has fallen off the past couple of years. He's not been
agree.
quite. He hasn't given up the effort that he had earlier in his career. So that's why I have Kawhi there. But I'll have LeBron at 2.
You're going to laugh at me, and I have Kawhi at 2, and we're not very far off. But, LBJ, and we don't talk about the past, and we're not supposed to think about this, but I'm going to tell you the one reason I'm comfortable with next year. Kawhi just did it. He went and did it in Toronto. I can't believe he did it up there. That was amazing.
And now he's got
and he did it in San Antonio when he was a young man, and he played great defense on LeBron James. But I think LeBron, being injured last year, missing the playoffs, I think you're going to see a LeBron with something to prove. And I don't know who his teammates other than, basically Kuzma and Anthony Davis are going to be, and it's going to be interesting. But
that bench is going to be very, very shallow.
I think he's going to be so motivated that he's going to prove that he's at least the best in the NBA for one more year.
Okay, who you got at 3?
Number 3 for me, it's Giannis, and it's not even close to anybody else.
I'm right there with you. Too
Really?
big, too strong, defense on point. He's
4
got everything
is
you
hard.
want. He's got
4,
everything you want.
oh, please. I don't know, dude.
Are
who
we
did
going
you
to
go
agree
with 4?
on I went Steph Curry, best 3-point shooter in the game. I would absolutely take him on my team.
Holy cow, we're different. You went Steph?
Yeah, I mean, I have to. He's the best 3-point shooter arguably ever.
I went Anthony Davis.
Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that, except for the fact that Anthony Davis hasn't really won anything, and we haven't really seen him deep in a playoff run.
Well, I think because he's also teamed up with LeBron, we're going to see the best Anthony we've ever seen. I am sure hoping on a lot with this Lakers team, aren't I?
Yep.
Now, then I'm going to have to go number 5, and now this is where you're going to probably sit
No,
there.
I think we might be similar. We'll see. What you got?
Well, no, you go first.
Dame Lillard, man.
You got Dame
he's got
time?
everything. I think he, again, right there with Curry, incredible scorer, shoots the 3 like a absolute champion.
God, I love Damian Lillard.
He's made some deep playoff runs, too, so I trust him in the playoffs.
I absolutely love Damian Lillard. No chance that you would think of my man James Harden at all, right?
He's a scorer.
Russell Westbrook, nope. Me neither. You know who
you
I
got? 5?
Steph Curry.
Okay.
I just had him one different. The only person I did not have is Damian Lillard. The only person you didn't have is Anthony Davis. Funny thing is, Damian Lillard's like my favorite player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that I left him out?
He's probably right outside of it. He's probably 6 for you.
But, yeah, he is out there. But, y'all, that was our top 5. Hit us up at the First Bank text line. Tell us your top 5. We're out here at the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational. It's going to be beautiful. And don't forget, tomorrow between 4:30 and 6, right between sports time, I'll be at East End Bar and Grill giving away the last free tickets. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And don't forget, we'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Once upon a time, there was a sleepy bear in search of a place to nap. Like the inside of a car. A coupe? Too small. An SUV? Too big. A station wagon? Just right. But as his eyelids began to get heavy... Covered it. September 30th, 2013. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Chevy. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has over 500 new vehicles to choose from with interest low as 0% and rebates up to $75. 500. A $5 million used car inventory specializing in late model GM certified and cars and trucks under $10,000. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, it's okay. Sunrise gets you financed when no one else can. Check out the inventory and apply online at sunrisememphis.com or call us on the phone. Come in and see us, go online or call. Any way you do it, we'll save you money at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, partner. 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Find new roads.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbembrace.com.
Our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC.
Family Leisure's pool clearance sale is July 8th through the 21st. Above ground pools starting at $11.99. 24-foot pools starting at $17.99. And you can get free upgrades on select pools that include pool filters, liners, and winter covers. Special 12-month financing is available. Plus, half off on toys, floats, and pool games. Summer's just started. There's plenty of time to swim, so make a splash at the Family Leisure Pool Clearance Sale. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together. Hey, this is Peter Edmiston from the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Come join me at Edwin Watts Golf on Thursday from 12 to 1 as we celebrate the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And I want to give you tickets. Come by and putt on that beautiful green inside the beautiful building over at Edwin Watts Golf. We've got putters, we got balls, all of it for you, and you just got to sink a putt. And that'll get you an extra entry, but you get one for even coming on out and seeing me. Poplar and Perkins, Edwin Watts Golf, giving tickets away on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
If you like pina colada.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
What's up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Y'all know what this is. It is hour number 2 of the Happy Hour, and I am out here at the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational. Tomorrow we're rocking and firing. We're starting this bad boy off, and I think this is going to be a special weekend for the city of Memphis and everybody out here at TPC Southwind. It is first class. I thought the St. Jude Classic was first class. The Invitational just kicked it up a notch. If you want tickets and don't have them, don't worry. I got you tomorrow. East End Bar and Grill. Come and see me between 4:30 and 6. It's going to be awesome. Giving away the last free tickets in the city. Yeah. Thank you so much, East End Bar and Grill, at the corner of Hacks and Winchester and Miller Coors. And don't forget our sponsors, Landers Ford, Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf Center, Memphis Pates, Blue City, Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, Ronnie Grizzani's, my man Chad Gatlin over at Memphis Farmers. Think memphisfarmers.com, Curry and Jerk, and Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. And, of course, I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101, and Central Barbecue, baby. Now, listen, this is crucial. We were talking earlier about everything. We have talked golf. The golf out here is going to be awesome. We have talked NBA. We gave you our top 5. We didn't give you Austin's top 5 quite yet, though, did you? He texted them into me, and here's what he said. He has LeBron James. No. Whoa. He has Dame 1, LeBron 2,
So,
Giannis 3, Steph 4, Embiid 5.
We have to be fair here. I think he's going positionally.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's top 5 is what we were
see
doing.
what he's doing, though.
I see
I
what
like it.
you're doing.
Embiid's a center,
Because when he
Steph's
didn't say
the point
Kawhi,
guard. Yeah.
I was like, what?
I
How could he not be
got you. I like it. I see what Austin did. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Now my man Drew Barrett, he should be back at the crib, too, about to take over as well. So we'll be hearing from Drew as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, Drew? Drew's
What's up?
Gizzy. Now, listen, Drew, we've been talking about everything, but I got to tell you something. Did you see Taylor Lewan, his crying video? Because during the break, I watched it finally. I didn't know he literally cried. He's a good actor. Like, that was really good, I thought.
He's a very emotional guy. He's been like that, though. Like,
Really?
he's sort of a guy that's very outspoken, and, like, I could see him cry, especially for something
Who
he
was the
didn't think he
loser
did
for the
right.
Warriors that went out there and pretended to cry about Kevin Durant? Was
Oh,
the worst
Bob Myers.
Thank you.
GM.
Worst acting job. Please take note of my man, Taylor Lewan, because you know what? I don't believe him. But all I thought to myself is, this guy, once he's done playing football, he should be in Days in Our Lives
he's
or
doing
Young
too
and the
much.
Restless.
But he's doing too much. I mean, nothing's going to help at this point. You're getting your 4 games. Just
Deal with
release
it,
your
son.
statement or whatever you need to do via Twitter and get
Now,
on with your life.
I'm getting to all this stupidity right now because I'm going to get to what I think is this stupid, like the dumbest thing in the history. And I got to thank my friend Jay at the Times Free Press over at Chattanooga. I tweeted a big thank you to you. I'll eventually get to you to the question. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably know it, Johnny_radio. But I also want to ask you, what do you think about, because 16 teams, if you didn't know, that's half the dead gum league. They have met, they have started training camp. They're all there, they're talking to reporters, information is coming out. We have heard, I will tell you, Andy Reid's stupid statement. I wanted to ask a great question, I think that's wonderful. But I want to ask you also, we heard, the Browns and how they have full support and blah, 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 blah. And the reason I say this is because, did you know that there is a latest incident with Kareem Hunt?
With Kareem Hunt?
Mm-hmm.
There's a new one.
Yeah.
What'd he do? This had to be very recent.
He was not arrested nor detained that night. There is a new video from TMZ Sports, and I think I'm going to have to wait and bring this out and tease everybody because this one is pretty interesting.
A little Hardwood.
Maybe a little Hardwood because this is right up Hardwood's alley. So I'm going to save this Kareem Hunt for a minute, but I want to get right now to Andy Reid. And I thought my man and the person who sent this out, I got to give him full credit. It is Jay Greason for the Times Free Press. When I read this question, I said to myself, my man, best question I think I've heard all year long. Andy Reid today has a press conference this morning. He comes to the microphone and says what everybody expects the man to say. He says, we have trust in Tyreek Hill, full trust in Tyreek Hill, and total belief. Okay? So I want to remember the word trust, full total belief.
But it's certainly tough for him to say anything else.
It is certainly tough. I don't know. Actually, you know what I could say is he is a very talented player, and we are going to wait and see. I sure hope that he comes out.
We're going to work to keep him on the right track.
We're doing everything we can, anything, but we have full trust in him. Because this is the thing that I thought was so unbelievable. This is what Jay asked. Well, Coach, and by the way, again, if somehow you've been under a bag and you don't know who Tyreek Hill is, he is basically, as Jay put it, a dirtbag who wiggled his way out of a child abuse charge because he literally wiggled his way out of a child abuse charge.
He got helped by the good
get
commissioner of the NFL.
He did. Now, I want to also ask you, if Andy Reid said to his assistant coaches, hey, you got full trust in Tyreek Hill, don't you? And they're like, heck yeah. Do you think that he would have full trust in having Tyreek Hill babysit their kids?
Oh, no. I mean, is that pretty simple? Absolutely not.
Dude, that's a great question, though. NFL asked that question. Is there anybody on planet Earth would trust Tyreek Hill?
What do you think he would answer? I think a no comment would come right out of his mouth.
Actually, if somebody would have had the, you know what, just ask him that, oh, so you have so much trust in Tyreek Hill and you're glowing. You have full trust.
Do you think it's a no comment, or does he say full trust still?
Again, he says, this is where you say, like, you don't come out and say, we have full trust in Tyreek Hill, okay? Because, again, you really going to trust Tyreek Hill with your children?
No.
I'm going to tell you straight now.
Absolutely
Heck
not.
to the Nizzo, okay? And I thought Jay brought up a
Very
great point,
interesting
and I thought that was a very interesting question. So, Coach Andy Reid, I just want to I would hope that somebody – I wish somebody would have
had
the stones to ask that.
But I just think it's this whole situation it's so interesting to me, the fact that if you just suspend him 2 games, you appease people. And you can't even do that. I don't understand what the thought process was in the league offices when they made this decision not to do anything. But
yeah,
it's neither here nor there.
No. Do you want to know what it is? He's weak. He's afraid of 2 games. Looks Ray Rice-esh. He'd rather go 0 and act like he's the all-knowing and y'all don't know better or whatever.
I'm sure if there was a video that came out, he'd be indefinitely
Oh, yeah,
suspended.
you're right. If there was a video, but
because with Ray Rice, it was 2 games. Video
and then
comes
video,
out.
Boom.
Indefinite.
Roger is so full of it. Again, just look at what Jaron Reed. I mean, please. I don't even want to get into that. But I do want to say something that I think is going to be great up your alley, and I want to ask you this because, by the way, my man Austin just hit me up, and he says, this is pretty interesting. I always like listening to my man Austin. He says opposing fans are going to be all over Tyreek Hill this season. He's going to get lit up. That is a I'm going to tell you something. That is a great point. There are a lot of dads out there who don't like Tyreek Hill that play defense. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to take any chance they can. The only problem is, can you catch the guy?
No, you can't.
That's the dad's got.
Look. With all that's gone on, he is a good player, and
part
of me wants to
but
think that's the reason
being,
he didn't get suspended.
No, that is the reason he got. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City didn't have an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl, I'm telling you, man, you know King Roger, dude, he suspended the Super Bowl champs for deflated balls.
That was whatever.
Come on
that
now.
was something else.
Roger's going to do Roger. But anyway, and plus I've also showed on numerous occasions about his selective justice.
Yeah.
And we talked about Jaron Reed, never an investigation, absolutely not one, even a hint or iota of anything from Jaron Reed. Did you remember that, right?
Did you see his statement where he came out and said, "I completely disagree with the terms of the suspension," but he's got to own up to it.
Because unfortunately, the collective bargaining, you can't go and basically.
That's the one thing people don't know is that Roger,
he's the arbitrator,
does everything. He literally
judge,
decides.
jury, executioner, and arbitrator, and that's why it is, to me, in my opinion, such a basically it's just it's
embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's a travesty. It's BS. It makes no sense. And heck, now I'm going to get to something that I think is actually I think you're going to be very excited to talk about. Did you know, by the way, did you hear the news about your buddy Hunter Hill?
Yes, man. I had to say congrats.
Dude,
headed over to Bryant U,
yep.
man. Good for him. I'm glad to see him land on his feet, though.
Not just land on his feet. That's a great business school.
Oh, and he's getting his MBA. So
yep.
I mean, he's
and he's such a good dude and the
bright
kid
with a bright future.
Yeah, and he was one of the first interviews you ever had over here on Sports.
Oh my
56,
gosh,
so
yeah, it was a good one too.
That was a great one. So Hunter Hill, just wanted to give you some congratulations. He's going to be a Bryant Bulldog, and you'll always be a Tiger forever, Tiger grad, and going to get your MBA out there. And hope you do great things on the field. And again, you will always be a Memphian at heart. Now, I do want to ask you one quick question about the American. Since I have a guy who was recently in the locker room, who knows a lot about football and knows a lot about this team, has been looking at all the watch list, has basically seen everything that's going on. When you look at this team right now, where, honestly, from Gabe Kuhn, where is the one spot that you look at and you say, there's a little cause for concern right here?
I would have to go with straight up. I'm going to go all defense has been a problem.
That's putting you on the spot.
I don't
Sorry.
Defense has definitely been a problem, so I'm going to leave that for another discussion. Offensive, I'd have to say the offensive line, just because you're losing a total of 137 starts, and you're moving a guy in Dustin. You're moving a guy in Dustin Woodard, who's a hell of a player, all-conference player, on the Remington Trophy watch list.
From right to left,
on
right?
Outland Trophy watch list. No, he's moving from right. He went from left guard to right guard. Now he's at center. And I like that move. That's actually a very smart move.
Because
but you're going to have 3 rookies.
You're
going to have 3 rookies.
So Obinna Eze is going to start this year?
Barring injury, all that, from what I hear, it's going to be Obinna Eze at left, and it's going to be Scotty Dillett Wright. From what I am hearing, obviously
so
things
Scotty.
change.
Wait, you said Scotty's going to be at right?
Yes, certainly
Okay.
things change as you get closer to the year. I've sort of talked to O-line coach Ryan Silverfield.
Mhm.
He talks about how these guys have really stepped up and sort of taken bared the brunt of what Tate left behind, what Kaiser left behind. Roger? Yeah, it was a couple years ago, not last year.
I know. I'm just
but
saying.
no, he said they've done a good job of stepping in there. Obviously, they're gonna have their first start is gonna be against an SEC team. So
is
that's
Ole
where
Miss,
my
by the way.
concern lies. Not a question in the world that's where a concern should be. Obviously, defense, I think they'll be a little bit improved, but I'm not
How
counting
much,
on it.
honestly, this is the one thing that I want to ask you, and because you a lineman, I was a quarterback, we different. I always wonder, though, how important for a young line is it to have a veteran quarterback in the huddle?
See, there's a lot of different ways to think about this because I think Brady White, for some of his shortcomings in being able to throw downfield, is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly
Very intelligent.
smart. So I think he stepped in last year with the ability to at least sort of have a little bit of confidence from his line in that they sort of knew he was going to try to make the right decisions. He was going to not turn the ball over. This year, it's
and
going to –
Darrell Henderson was one hell of a weapon, too.
Absolutely. And I think tell me if I'm wrong, but do you think people are sort of underplaying
Absolutely,
the absence of
unequivocally.
him
That's
and
where I
Tony?
was going to get to. Actually, I was waiting a minute, and I don't want to throw it. This is where I have a problem, and this is for me one of the hardest things is to talk about a college athlete.
Patrick Taylor Jr., incredible running back.
That's exactly because I don't ever want to feel like I'm killing a kid or whatever because, again, these are still student athletes, and we do call them student athletes. And I'm not trying to say anything bad, but what I'm trying to say is Darrell Henderson was the closest thing we've had to D'Angelo Williams since D'Angelo Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude was bad.
Arguably,
statistically,
1 year, one of the best, if not the best year
in
as
Memphis
a running
history
back has
yeah.
ever had at that school. So I mean, I think it's an underplay just because you're not going to have those quick strike runs where he's taking it 80 yards to the house. You might have a couple from Patrick, but Darrell's fast.
Darrell
is a fast man. I hope he does good things with the Rams this year. And
I think he will.
I think that's a good
Are you
switch
kidding
up
me?
for
I
good
think
Todd.
that's going to be such a beautiful matchup. Think about the genius of the guy who just married the hottest woman in the world.
And, yeah, I was going to say the offensive coaching on that
Sean
team
is
right where it needs.
By the way, could Sean in any way? Are you concerned this year? Have you noticed how he's been on Instagram? Got a new hot wife. I'm going to get back to the Tigers, I promise.
Oh, he's doing
his
his thing.
He's kind of been the nerdy dude who's been figuring out the NFL. It seemed like behind the scenes, and now he's living it up. He's celebrity status. Got the supermodel wife. You know what I mean? Is there any chance that he steps back, or is he just full bore ahead?
Is this another Le'Veon Bell, LeBron James focus on your thing? You're doing
No.
too much? Okay,
I'm not saying that.
Well,
This is honestly, I'm curious because Sean McVay has always been called, people in interviews, have you noticed, they'll ask him a play that he ran.
Oh, yeah, and he'll know.
In whatever, and he can literally tell you the name of the
It's
play.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
wait.
ran, right, Rogers, da-da-da-da-da, and he was supposed to look at this. I mean, he's very, very intelligent.
Detailed, too.
And he's very detailed. I'm just curious, that's what got him the job. Is there any chance that, the Rams and you know what I mean? Just
I think he's a stud.
being the top, he's going to be fine.
I think he's a great coach. I think
I'm asking that because of Darrell Henderson.
And it seems very interesting, though. I see what you're saying. He sort of got that celebrity status now, so it could be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he seems like a very professional guy.
Yeah, he is.
He seems young enough. He seems very
coach.
good above the shoulders. He seems like he's got it going.
Yeah, he does got to go. Now, back to the Tigers. We have talked about how, Dustin Woodard's going to be going to Centered. Whenever I think of him, I think of Woodard. And do you remember that show? Was it Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, of course I do.
And then, of course, we got Obina and we got Scotty at the tackles. It's a big year for this line, but they do have Brady White. Me and Gabe Kuhn. Gabe played at the University of Memphis just a couple years ago on that vaunted offensive line. Helped this, basically helped this program completely go from the laughingstock of football, literally 131st in the country.
You want a stat? I don't want to
Go ahead, no, I
my
want to hear it.
most winning 4 years in program history.
Dig that, my man. That's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
talking about. No, and
That's
that's awesome. I did not know that. In fact, I think actually Dave told me that once, but I had forgotten it. Dave did tell me
and
that.
good old Drew Kaiser broke my start record last year. So
Did he really?
Yeah.
Drew.
Of course he had to text me.
He had
and,
to
he
do
had to
it.
give
Hey,
me
Drew.
a whole bunch of stuff about it, but it is what it is. But this year, Brady White, I think, will have some improvement. But they're going to have to rely on the run game to get where they want to go.
And now this is where I was exactly, and I wanted to ask you, this is where I wonder, is Obina Eze and Scotty and Dustin and all these guys, do you think they're going to be better run blockers or better pass protectors? Like, what do you think? I mean, that's a
You
big
saw a year
deal.
ago.
Dude, they were aggressive and better run blockers.
Yeah, I think they're better run blockers just because I think Ryan Silverfield
Ryan.
is. I think he's absolutely changed the culture around the run game at
More
the
physical.
University of Memphis. It's physical, and there's a bunch of different schemes.
Is that what took Obina Eze so long? Because he wasn't at first. It seemed like he was more of a pass blocker when he got there.
He was a guy who played 2 years of football before he got there,
Whoa.
so there was some coaching that had
Whoa,
to be
yeah.
done. But
Footwork.
I mean, you talk about
He's a
frame.
monster.
He's 6'8". When he came in, he was 280. I mean, the guy had a frame that you can't coach a frame
Yeah, you
like
can't
that,
coach
man.
that.
Like, eventually, he's going to come around. I think he obviously the fact that they're putting him in that position as a left tackle to start
That's
this
been Ryan's
year.
biggest project, probably, huh?
Oh yeah, by far. That's sort of his.
His pet project.
Yeah,
he
that's
could
like-
be a guy
that's
that goes into the first round in the NFL.
And
if
also,
I can get him to play.
That
up
was
to
a
his
huge
potential.
recruit.
Heck
That's like
yes.
when as a coach, if you bring in a recruit like that, you're gonna
absolutely
bring him
get
along,
to it.
maybe baby him a little bit. Not trying to. I'm not saying Silverfield babied him at any point.
No. I know what
You
you're
know,
saying.
absolutely. It's a guy that eventually you need to start. It's a project.
Now, we've talked tons of offense, why Gabe Kuhn was on the offensive line, and we lost 137 starts from the previous year. Yes, their quarterback is back. But we talk about the 137 starts on the offensive line. Don't forget you lost Daryl bleeping Henderson. Now, a couple years ago,
Tony
Pollard. Don't forget Tony Pollard. But a couple years ago, we lost Gabe Kuhn and Anthony Miller. And heck, remember when Paxton Lynch was gone, and we're going to replace that, you know? And then you had,
I don't think after all those things, after the class that left with Riley
was awesome,
and Anthony and me, and Sam Kraft played one more year, but there was somewhat of a step back. I think it'll be a step forward this year, though, when you look at it, because you got a
From
quarterback
last
in year two.
And also, don't you think Mackenzie Milton, and I hate to do this, I never want to sit there and talk because a player's not there that you're going to have a better year, but I'm going to tell you right now, Mackenzie Milton was still starting in Central Florida. Central Florida would be projected number one in my book because that young man, when he came to college football, he
knows.
Danny Warfel. There's just certain guys, Scott Frost, who's coaching. I mean, he wasn't
Not
anything in the
necessarily
NFL,
an
but
NFL
so good at Tim Tebow.
Absolutely.
So good at the college game. It's not even funny. Charlie Ward at the college
I'll
game.
tell you what. With
God,
them,
if you
with
saw
them,
him at Florida, you never saw Charlie Ward play the college game, were you?
I seen highlights.
You saw highlights? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I haven't
was
seen
growing
like
up-
a full game, but
yeah.
when you look at UCF, man, I don't know. I mean, when you look at Brandon Wimbush
Dude,
in the AAC,
I still thought, though,
and you think about Josh Heupel's offense,
That's
it's sort
gonna
of
be
built
interesting.
for
It's
him.
gonna
Like
be
it's
interesting.
a good fit.
Another Notre Dame quarterback transferring. Quarterbacks transferring everywhere. That's basically kind of been the name of the year. But the one thing Memphis doesn't have to worry about, they got their quarterback this year, and they probably got their quarterback next year because, yes, he was giving
2 more.
Another year of eligibility. Congratulations to Brady White. One quick question before I jump off the University of Memphis. Everybody around here loves talking Memphis. Last but not least, best wide receiver other than
other
Coxie.
than Coxie.
Yeah. Because Coxie is just
So
like
there's a
too
couple
easy
guys.
for you.
There's a
You
couple
like-
guys I want to point to.
Okay.
And Pop Williams is the
I was-
obvious one.
the
He's
obvious
the
choice.
slot, and I think he's very, very good at what he does. I think he's primed for a way better year. But when you look at a guy that has not had a bunch of production, Kadarian Jones. Kadarian Jones has been a guy who I know actually very well personally, and he's got all it takes, man. He's 6'1", he's a physical dude, he got great hands. So I want to see what he does this year. We're going to see how much playing time he actually ends up getting. It seems like he sort of plays the role Coxie does in being that big wide receiver, big physical guy. I really, really like Kadarian Jones, but we're going to have to see what kind of playing time he gets going forward. But, yeah, Pop Williams is the obvious choice here, I would say.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I know Memphians love their football, but I also know that Memphians love the World Golf Championship. Everybody in Memphis loves FedEx. And how could you not love St. Jude? It's only the greatest charity on planet Earth. You put them all together with 46 of the top 50 golfers. What do you get? The WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. It's going down for real, and it's going down this year, and it's going to be awesome. Last tickets that I'm going to give away, 4:36 tomorrow, East End. Be there. Thank you, Miller Coors. Thank you, East End Bar and Grill. And also thank you to our wonderful sponsors from Central Barbecue, to 901-406-1101, my good buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. From Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com, Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, Curry and Jerk, Ronnie Grizzani's, Edwin Watts, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Blue City Cafe, Memphis Paints, Vantage Point Golf Sitter, Jason's Deli, First Bank, Roosters Men Grooming Center, Half Shell, and Lander Center. We love you all. We'll be back with my favorite segment of the day, Hardwood, because, it does feel so good, on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roofing. As most of you know, I don't have a history of bragging or boasting that Five Ash Roofing is the best roofer in the Memphis area, but did you know we are the only diamond level roofing professional in the area? We are one of very few local roofing companies that have been in business for 20 years. We've never had a justified claim against us. We are locally owned and family operated. Our labor warranties are for the life of the shingles. We're experts in insurance claim. We do residential and commercial work. We are the official roofer of the University of Memphis Athletic Department and a proud member of the Tigers home team. We support local youth sports and St. Jude's. We have worked with churches and veteran services to help those in need by providing services at a deep discount or even for free. We are currently working with Young Life to give them a free roof on the historic log cabin in Germantown. Five Ash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Drop the anchor, will you?
Sure, Grandpa.
You tied it off, right?
Tied what off?
The anchor. And the rope that the anchor was attached to.
There's a reason they say curse like a sailor.
Oh. Hey, watch your mouth.
Many reasons. Progressive's boat insurance has you covered. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
So much for fish for dinner.
AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC.
Hey everybody, the All-Star Chevy Challenge is here. And I'm telling you, if it's a new Chevy you want, Olive Branch is the place to go, people. Take your best written deal from any Mid-South Chevy dealer to our friends at All-Star Chevrolet, and they will beat it. Or they're going to give you a free tank of gas for the win. So now that I got your attention, yes, July is All-Star Challenge month, when you get to let All-Star Chevy beat that deal on any new Chevy or even pre-owned vehicle you want. Just take the official written deal from any other Chevy dealer, not that one your friend wrote down at the bar, and take it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. It's that simple. Not only that, they have the best testing ground of any other Chevy dealership, and when you head to All-Star Chevy, you know you got the best deal. So find new roads to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch and take the All-Star Challenge. Not in South Haven, it's gotta be Olive Branch. Or go to allstarautogroup.com right now and be amazed by all the hot new Chevys and pre-owned vehicles they have in stock. Don't miss the All-Star Chevy Challenge. You will thank me later.
Hey, this is Peter Edmiston from the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Come join me at Edwin Watts Golf on Thursday from 12 to 1 as we celebrate the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And I want to give you tickets. Come by and putt on that beautiful green inside the beautiful building over at Edwin Watts Golf. We've got putters, we got balls, all of it for you, and you just got to sink a putt, and that'll get you an extra entry, but you get one for even coming on out and seeing me. Poplar and Perkins, Edwin Watts Golf, giving tickets away on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Oh, man, that was so kind. Hunter Hill, by the way, just want all you wonderful people in Memphians to know. Hunter Hill text me back. Thank you, John. Those were kind words. Thanks for listening, Hunter. I appreciate that. And, again, we really do thank you for, Gabe, and your interview was awesome. And we really do wish you the best. And I think you're going to do a great job over at Bryant. Football. I know you're going to do great in business, but I think you're going to have a great end of your career, and we'll be rooting for you. Everybody in Memphis will be. Speaking of Memphis, we know what's going down in Memphis, and it's going down for real. It is the World Golf Championship. You know what happens when you get the best golfers in the world, FedEx St. Jude? All mixed together. You get the St. Jude Invitational. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you get out here and join us. We're going to be live from 10 to 6 from today, tomorrow, and Friday. That's right. Starting with middays, going all the way through sports time. We're going to be out here. Stop by and see us. We're out here by the 18th green. Come on in and say what's up. Me and Gabe are going to be here all week. And again, like I said, Greg and Eli, and of course, Brett and Wolo. You'll see Austin. You'll see Drew. You'll see everybody and their grandmother. We're out having fun. But we couldn't do our Hardwood without all of y'all. And you know what? We got great sponsors, but we got to get to Hardwood. I'll tell you all about them in a minute. Do me a favor. Strike the band.
This is Access Hardwood.
Oh, my goodness. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I like to start off on Hardwood because my name's Harden, and I kind of created it and all this stuff.
It might be your thing.
It's kind of my thing. But Gabe, you got a great one that I have to say you have got to start with.
I cracked up, and I love, like, when people show up to NFL football camp, they do some weird things. I know Deion Sanders was, famous for coming in on a helicopter doing his thing. Mm-hmm. But Jalen Ramsey this morning.
Antonio Brown, recreated the Deion Sanders a couple years ago.
Exactly. Like, just ridiculous entrances. Jalen Ramsey was, I think, equally as ridiculous this morning. He showed up in an armored truck this morning to signal he really wants some more money. The Jaguars picked up his fifth-year option this year, and it's $13.7 million. So I get the idea. He's trying to let them know he wants to earn some more money. So we'll see where this goes from here. But that's one of the one of the better entrances I've seen to a camp. He had a guy with a megaphone in back saying, "You know what time it is? It's time to get that money."
No, he did not.
Yep.
You mean he had a hype man?
Yeah, and then they opened the back of the armored vehicle, and it just had like a bunch of bags that looked as if there was money in them. I really hope he's not stupid enough to actually put money in those bags.
I do too.
But
he is Jalen Ramsey.
Either way, man, pretty cool.
Dude, that was
I
guess you could basically say, we know what he's looking for. Yeah, show me the money. Now,
he'll have to be up there with the highest paid now. When they actually decide to pay him.
Yeah, he's good. But I got to ask you a question. Does that stuff, do you think, fly with management? I know it flies with media and PR and fans. We love it.
He's such a good player, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter, does it?
All the guys that do that are usually the cream of the crop guys. So, I don't think management cares, really. And then I think people in the locker room will laugh at it. And I think the management has a better sense of humor than we give them credit for at times.
You're probably right. You are probably right. But, man, Jalen Ramsey, remember last year talking about all the quarterbacks and then how bad of a year they had last year? I would honestly be like, can you do me a favor? Can you shut up and play?
Right.
Because we need to get back to the damn playoffs. We got a new quarterback, okay?
Yeah.
We got rid of the bum. Go out there and be the baller defense that y'all were.
Super overpaid quarterback.
Yeah.
So you better do something with it.
So, yeah, y'all better do something. Now, speaking of, that's a great story, but I got to tell y'all, I brought this up in a little bit, but I didn't talk much about it. I think I talked to Gabe off the air. Dwight Gooden.
Oh,
Everybody remembers Dwight Gooden. We remember the Mets. Dwight likes to party. If you look at Dwight, Dwight, I've always used to joke around and say, my man Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, both those guys look like they could do a whole 8-ball with one bump. Basically saying they love them some yayo, okay?
Oh, gosh.
You know, I understand being a lover of something. Trust me. I'm a lover, not a fighter these days. I'm older. But, dude, when you get arrested twice in a week.
It's a week or 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, it's like it depends on it. It's like, yes. All right. So we can say unequivocally he was arrested 2 times in 6 weeks. But this time he was stopped by the police and basically they didn't arrest him. He just went straight to rehab. So arrested twice in 6 weeks, was about to get his 3rd arrest or his 2nd arrest in the last week after he just got out of jail. And this time he says, you know what? Don't arrest me. I'm going to just go to rehab.
I got to say.
Good damn idea,
That's
Doc.
the correct move. But also, man.
His nickname was Doc Gooden.
Can I also throw something out there?
So that doesn't mean, like, when he
How
says
do you
I'm going
get-
to rehab, I'm going to go see a doctor. That doesn't mean I'm going to go see myself, right?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I can't imagine he's.
Because the only thing he's prescribing himself
I
is
don't,
yayo.
I don't think he has a doctorate. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think he has a real, yeah.
Whatever you know.
He's got
He's got one of those
MD
doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, seriously, he needs to probably stay in that rehab for a
So he's
little bit.
not
And
an
also,
MD?
I want to know, did he have it like on him and got arrested? Like, how do you get caught 2 times in a week?
All right, here's what I'm gonna tell you. This is what this is according. This is hilarious. This is according to the what is it? The New York Post. Yeah, they said that Gooden was driving his Chrysler the wrong way down a one-way street shortly after 11 p.m. Again, he just had gotten out of jail a few days prior. The arresting or the officer who pulled him over said that Gooden said to him, please transport me to a local hospital for evaluation. The officer said he was pissed off, clearly, but he also said he could understand that Gooden was in a place where he really needed help, not necessarily another arrest.
I would think so. Man. You're driving down the wrong way with a bunch of yay. You probably need a little bit of help. You need to go to outpatient situation.
Also, Gooden claimed to suffer from diabetes and also be having an issue. The officer decided instead of arresting him to take him to the hospital when he found out that he was suffering from diabetes. Of course, he did have cocaine on him. He was cooperative and polite. The officer said he did calm down, and when Doc agreed to go straight to rehab, he decided not to arrest, blah, 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 blah. Again, the officer said it's sad to see the continued problems of this former Met star, but it's an example of the persistent scourge of drugs and alcohol in this country and the stranglehold they have on addicts. Now, he's saying that I want to do everything to keep this stuff off the street, but obviously a man of him who's been struggling with this so long, just throwing him in the tank ain't going to do it. He needs medical help. I'm glad that somebody actually sees that and that hopefully, I mean, at 54 years old or however old he is now, I mean, 54-year-old good, 54 years old, hopefully
he needs to get some help, man.
He can realize that
live the best of his life.
This
of his life.
30-year-old, yayo train has got to end. You know what I mean?
It's bad.
It's really bad, and I mean, he debuted as a 19-year-old kid. Do you realize that?
The amount of addiction that goes into something like that, I really pray for him. You hope he doesn't continue down that path. But did you hear about people begging for a Mayweather-Pacquiao rematch after this?
Oh God, I don't even want to hear
my
that.
Gosh.
In fact, I bet you want to vomit. He had a hurt shoulder the first time. Well, Mayweather, you're older than dirt, dude. That was awful. I don't
remember.
Mayweather.
I watched that fight all the way through. I don't think I saw Pacquiao win one round.
They want to fight again because they're both going broke again.
Well,
They want chumps to pay.
no, Mayweather does not want to do it. He's like, I've proved myself. It's disrespectful
good.
that y'all are.
But he
coming
wants
out.
to
But
fight
Freddie
Josie
Roach-
Altidore.
But Freddie Roach really, which is Pacquiao's trainer, had the nerve to say, I really think Manny can knock him out at 40 years old.
Freddie,
I'll wait. Hey, Freddie, I have a question for you. When was one time Mayweather got knocked out? And I'll wait.
Dude,
I'll wait.
he's so fast,
Never.
nobody ever hits him.
It's never happened. So,
But who's that great UFC dude that I said his name? Not Josie Altidore, Nimarov or whatever.
Khabib.
Khabib, the dude who beat the tar out of McGregor.
Yeah.
Mayweather's trying to fight him. Did you not know that?
A boxing fight?
They want to do
Boxing match?
boxing, of course,
Of
and
course.
he wants, Mayweather wants millions of dollars.
Doesn't it always crack you up when people are like, well, aren't they going to get in the octagon?
No. Dude.
Floyd Mayweather would die in there. Are you kidding me?
So Manny Pacquiao wants to rematch with Mayweather. It says Freddie Roach says he'd knock him out. Manny's actually struggling with money, it says. Manny's hurting. The other thing, though, is Floyd Mayweather doesn't want to fight Manny. He says he's been there, done that. But he wants to fight. Dude, again, why take the guys in the octagon, make them take away half of what they do,
what they train year-round for.
put gloves on them, and fight a complete. It's basically like saying, hey, you know what? You're a real good cricket player. Come on over here and play baseball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Or you're a good baseball player. Go play cricket.
I must
because
admit,
that's about the same.
Did you watch the McGregor-Mayweather fight?
Dude, again, Floyd Mayweather's older than dirt.
Of course he dismantled him. I get that. It's a boxing match.
I thought he did
McGregor
good for a stud, but also he's 20 years older than McGregor.
McGregor made nine rounds with him. Won a couple. Looked solid. I'm not mad at him.
I just want to poo-poo that away, and I do want to bring up one more thing. I'm jumping off Dwight Gooden, but I did want to remind you because you didn't realize this. I don't think because you weren't alive, but Gooden, the doc, the guy who has this huge coke problem, people don't realize how good of an athlete he was. He was the youngest player at 19 years old in 1984. He was named the National League Rookie of the Year. And guess what? Won the National League Cy Young Award the very next year in 1985. What I'm saying is, if Yayo, and then they won the World Series in 86 behind him. Again, what I'm saying is, cocaine, could you imagine if he didn't get yay crazy? And again, this is according to him. And have back then a $200,000 a year coke habit. Damn! In 1984, if you're spending $200,000 a year, $200K. Yeah, he said he used to spend $200K a year on yay. But back then, again, I'm talking about 84. That's a lot of money on yay. Okay.
You say back in 84, that's a lot today.
That's a lot today, but it's even more back then.
Come on,
damn.
man.
So, who knows what he could have been
God.
had he not gotten into the cocaine scene and partied like a rock star. He was still one of the best ever, but I think he could have been.
Even greater.
It's just
even greater.
Even greater. Now, we mentioned a lot of things this week. I got to bring this up because I walk around town, and you did a test with me. There were 3 questions.
Yep.
I got 2 out of the 3 right.
Yep.
The first one I look back on is really the easiest question, but everywhere I go, people want to argue and say you got the first one right. And then when I try to explain it to them, I cannot imagine. Like, you would not believe how many people go crazy.
Drew, I had that problem with Drew.
Did you really?
I thought it was 10 cents as well, and Drew had to let me know how dumb I was being.
Dude,
because it was dumb. You were being dumb.
Like, for you people out there who keep saying that I got all 3 right, I'm going to one more time, and it's just a simple way. If you look at the word of the question, is a dollar more.
A bat
a dollar more.
A bat and a ball costs $1.10 in total.
Oh, you have the question. Thank you.
The bat costs $1 more. It has to cost
$1 more.
Full $1 more.
So the only thing you need to think about after the question is how do you get rid of that dime? Well, if the baseball was 5 cents minus 5 cents, guess what? The dime's gone and you have $1 left over. The baseball was 5 cents. The bat was $1.05.
By what we were thinking originally, if the ball's 10 cents and the bat's $1, the bat is 90 cents more
Thank
than the
you.
ball.
Yes.
So if you
and
split that
immediately,
10 cents.
I know, I just went like,
ding, ding, ding.
$1 for the bat. Here's 10 cents for the ball. Bang, I got. Yes, it was funny. I didn't think right. But, man, you would not believe how many people have stopped me to have this conversation. It's crazy. So, but anyway.
So we should just do a different IQ
dude,
test
these
every
IQ
week.
things are hilarious, but people did love them. But now I got to bring out. We talked also about the LSU locker rooms being pretty much the most
incredible.
so
man.
fresh and so clean. You asked me the question about how many times you slept in the locker room, and I said never.
I have.
And I was thinking to myself, overnight.
Oh no, definitely
I want to
not
clarify that. Yes, I slept, I think, before every single game in the locker room because that's what you did while you were killing time. You put on your headphones, you go to sleep. Anyway, back then we had a Walkman. It was really cool.
What were you playing music out of?
Dude,
That's my question.
I had a Walkman, dog.
What
a little
is-
Ministry, dude. Get you a little pumped up back then.
What is that?
A little White Zombie.
No, I'm talking about like the
You don't
thing
know what a
were
Walkman is?
No.
Holy
It's a cassette player, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh wow.
Holy
Oh
jeez.
jeez. I don't know who's
I am
more in the
now.
wrong here.
I'm officially old. I realize. I'm sitting next to a man who don't even know what the hell a Walkman is.
I was around for my first playing device was a CD player.
Do you know the Walkman was like the coolest thing ever?
CD player is the same thing basically.
Before
right?
that, we used to walk around and have to like bump like the boombox. Okay. Now we had the Walkman, yo. We had guns back then, though, carrying
that. was newfangled, right?
By the way, though, in all honesty, I watched. I do want to mention there was a show, Hot Tub. Oh, that was the show, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Well, that's a movie.
Or movie, whatever.
Movie
I watched the movie finally.
Yeah.
Give me I've watched now 2 movies, Cars and Hot Tub Time Machine. Dude, how old is that?
What do you mean?
Like, that's hilarious. Like,
The Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yes. Is that an old
You know
movie?
they have 2, right?
No.
The first one
no,
came
no,
out
no.
like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
I watched it for the
That's
first
clearly
time
not
ever
old,
yesterday, and it was awesome.
It's hilarious. isn't it?
After I left y'all, dude.
They made a second one. Not quite what it
Bro,
should
all I know is I want to go back to the 80s and, like, the whole part about his mother and just all this stuff. And, by the way, the reason I want to bring this up is because if you watch that movie, we used to have a lot more fun than y'all. Y'all are always stuck in your phones, and I'm now one of them. I'm stuck in my damn phone. Do you know we used to go to places and just party? Like, you didn't even know who that person was. You'd be like, yo, what's up? You want to party? Yeah, let's rage. And now today it's like you got to have a damn background check on everybody before you even get in the car with somebody. The whole world's crazy. But no, I had to bring that up. Hot Tub Time Machine. If you haven't seen it, go watch that in Beer Fest on my I guess that's my Siskel and Ebert 2 thumbs up movies. But anyway, we're such a bunch of idiots. We're having so much fun. We did a little hardwood because it does feel so good. But I want to remind you that realistically, World Golf Championship, it's going on. It's going down for real. We have the best sponsors on planet Earth. Thank you so much, Landers Ford, Half Shell, Roosters, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf, Memphis Paints, Blue City, Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, Ronnie Grizzani's, my man Chad Gallen Insurance, MemphisFarmers.com, Curry and Jerk, Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment, Chad Gatlin, you know I love you. Of course, Central Barbecue and 901-406-1101. Bill at I Buy Them Houses, baby. Any house, any area, any condition. Like, it's really that simple. But you know what we got to do? We got to take a quick timeout. We're going to come back and wrap things up. And I want to remind you, I actually have a pick of the day, and they're going off right now. Play the Deadgum Cubs and the Rangers. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Sleepy Z's Mattresses by Michael Zellner is the winner of the Memphis Most Best Mattress Store for 4 straight years. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and Sleepy Z's is the mattress store where you can save 50 to 80% off retail store prices every day of the week. They carry Serta and several other brands and have hundreds of mattresses to choose from. Go there today and mention Sports 56. You'll get an extra 10% off any mattress or furniture. Call Michael directly at 901-359-1040. It's Sleepy Z's, located at 2790 Kirby Winton Road.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you about to wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee jail.
Welcome back to a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am your sports mixologist, John Harden. My man back at the crib, we got Drew Barrett. He's been out here all day long, all day strong. Now he's back there producing the show. Next to me, I got my man Gabe Kuhn. And today, we talk Tiger football. I've been getting questions. I've had people request it. Hey, why don't you bring Gabe in and do a little Tiger football talk? Talk about that offensive line and the quarterback and the running backs and the wide receivers and all that. And guess what? I just gave you what you wanted, baby.
And we'll continue it.
And we'll keep it going. And don't forget, we're going to be breaking down. We broke down the Pac-12. We're going to do the Big Ten. We're going to do it all the way up into the SEC and then the American. And we're going to continue to do that. But if you missed any segment, if you have the Sports 56 mobile app, you can go back and catch us anytime you want, any segment, anything you love, podcast. That's just the way to go. I'm telling you, you will love them. Now, I would like to remind you, we are here today. Brett and, Wolo are going to close it out today, but we're going to be here till Friday, starting with Greg and Eli at middays, all the way through sports time. Till Friday afternoon, we're going to be out here at the 18th hole at TPC Southwind. It is awesome. This is the World Golf Championship, FedEx St. Jude Invitational, and it is, I don't even know what to say. I mean, you look at like the field and the first tee and some of the people who are teeing off at the first tee and people in the morning and are teeing off on the second tee, and you see the names like Koepka, Patrick Reed, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Ian Poulter. I mean, like Bubba Watson, Tony Finau. Are you joking? Like, you look at these names and you say to yourself, this is Memphis.
You can't beat it.
We got the real deal Holyfield, and it's here. But guess what? Some people, they didn't act quickly. They don't have their tickets. They're going to miss out on history because it's the first one ever. And this is history that's being made. But guess what? You come out tomorrow, the corner of Hacks Cross and Winchester, to East End Bar and Grill, 4:30 to 6. I'm going to give away the last free tickets to this event, period, in the city. I hope to see you there tomorrow. Thank you to our friends at Miller Coors, and a big thanks to Landers Ford, Half Shells, Roosters, First Banks, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf, Memphis Paints, Blue City, Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, Ronnie G, Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com, Curry and Jerk, Schrader Orthopedic,
and stem cell treatment. My man Bill, 901-406-1101. Any house, any area, any condition, as is. Bing, bang, boom, sold. And Central Barbecue, because they're simply the best. Now, me and my man Gabe are going to be out here all week. I just wanted to ask you this very important question before we go. How did you feel about the Mueller Report?
The what? Did you say that? Mueller Report?
The Mueller Report. It was a joke. I'm just kidding. I am. We don't talk politics.
Yeah.
I am
I'll save
unequivocally.
my judgment. It was very
No.
interesting, man.
That was such a joke. I am 100%.
I was like, that's a topic we're
your
making
eyes,
in the show.
If you could have seen how his eyes almost popped out of his head, but I did want to bring this one up and to finish off. We have golf tomorrow. It's going to get started. It's going to be awesome. And by the way, coming out on a Wednesday, you can say to yourself, why would you want to come out on a Wednesday? Because you get to watch these guys go practice round. You can go out there and watch them on the tee. You can watch them do a little scramble for possibly money and see like caddies fall on the ground and somebody make a punt, and you wonder how much money might have just changed hands. Who knows? But anyway, Jason Day, all kinds, Phil Mickelson, all these bad players, they're all out here this week. I hope that we see you out here. Come and see us. But before I say goodbye, why is it that Cam Newton, is it the injury? Is it, I mean, this is a guy, do you not remember? It was just a couple years ago that he was the MVP of the league, and they were favored to beat Denver in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What has happened to Cam Newton, the Carolina Panthers, and is he ever going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
I think his talent is transcendent, but I just don't think that team has put it together ever. Since they've gotten to the Super Bowl, since the year they went to the Super Bowl. After that, it just sort of went in the tubes. I think Cam Newton's still good. I still think he's a really good player. They might run him a little bit too much. That might be a thing.
He's had a lot of surgeries on his shoulder.
Their offense became predictable after that one big year they had, and there's a lot of running that they do within that offense, and I think it's just sort of been easier to stop. I don't think it has to do with Cam Newton so much as it has to do with that team as a whole.
I think Rivera is one that you could actually point a lot of blame. I don't think they've ever, outside of having a couple tight ends and some,
little breaking news.
Ooh, what do you got?
I mean, not too former Grizzly. It's a former Grizzly, so I'll drop it. But Pau Gasol just got signed a 1-year deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. I know he probably won't get too much playing time with them. Well, actually, he might, given their backup situations. I know Nurkic is going to be coming back, but good for Powell. Glad to see he landed on the team.
Man, hold up. Wait, really?
Yeah, absolutely. He's still around. He's still doing it, man.
Wow.
Last year he was hurt. I can't believe Powell's still in it.
Like, that
He's
makes me
still
think
kicking,
way
man.
back in the day when I used to hear a guy talk about plastic points and him. Man, that just messes me up.
There was a time this offseason where they thought the Grizzlies would make a run at him. And I was like, I don't know what that would do for anybody, but Powell is definitely a guy that is somewhat beloved around here.
Well, this is going to be one of the most beloved events. It's been a beloved event for many, many, many years when it was the St. Jude Classic, the FedEx St. Jude Invitational, the World Golf Championship. This is no joke. We have kicked it up another notch. But before I say goodbye from out here, and let Sports Time take over, I want to remind you we have some day baseball going on, folks. And guess what? Tampa Bay beat Boston 3-2 today. That's right. Milwaukee's losing to Cincinnati 4-3. Cincinnati's been hotter than a firecracker. Phillies beating Detroit. Colorado is losing to Washington. And, of course, Oakland is getting smacked by Houston. And I got to say one thing. Gabe, thank you. But whatever you people do, don't you dare touch that dial. Sports Time is coming out next. Get out there, make this world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Here on my chest, she looks good without a shirt.
3 years ago, I was told I had to have surgery on my shoulder. I had 3 bad things happen. I had rotator cuff issues, tendon issues, bicep issues. I was headed for surgery. And then I met Dr. Schrader. And after his procedure, I didn't need surgery. It is amazing how easy it is. 3 hours, my own stem cells being used on me. Now I can sleep at night. I can play golf. 3 hours, no pain. And I was like a new man. No rehab like you need with rotator cuff surgery. It was simply amazing to me, and it can be for you. Again, no pain and an alternative. So if you've got issues, not with just shoulders, but knees and back and neck, they are finding more and more things where stem cells come in handy. You have to talk to Dr. Schrader.
Call 901-465-4300 and see how Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell can help you today.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Come to Holly Chevrolet in Marion and get a sizzling summer deal. Right now, get 20% below MSRP. That's over $9,000 off MSRP on the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. The all-new 2019 Chevy Silverado Double Cab LT. All 2018s must go. Get a 2018 Malibu for as low as $23,156. Stop by today and check out Holly's large selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs ready for you to enjoy. And at Holly Chevrolet, it's a no-pressure, no-hassle environment. As a matter of fact, there's no Badgers. And never pay a dock fee. Find new roads at exit 14 off I-55 in Marion, just 15 minutes from downtown Memphis. And online at hollychevrolet.com.
2019 Chevy Silverado Double Cab LT, stock number N3580. 2018 Chevy Malibu, stock number N3377. All discounts, rebates, and incentives are included and applied. Must qualify, finance with GM Financial, and have a 99-year GM product. Prices do not include tax, title, or registration. Take delivery by 7/31/19. See dealer for details.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 and 87.7 FM anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for information on breaking news, station events, big guests, and opportunities to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter today.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports Time with Wallo and Stacks. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin and Brett Stotts Norsworthy.
Welcome everybody to TPC Southwind. Welcome to the Hub. So nice to have you with us. It is the inaugural WGC FESJI. Our first time to be out here in this new spot. The Hub has moved. In case you're wondering, it used to be right behind the driving range. Now it is right in the bend on 18. You can kind of see the green from here, watching players walk by, watching people walk in. We're air conditioned now. We're big time. We got 62 years of history, but Brett, this is the first time we're at WGC.
Well, that's true, Dave, and we do have a glorious golf history, but this starts the newest, biggest, and baddest chapter ever of it, and I'm going to get the first insult in. You ready? We're located about, if you were playing from the tips on 18, where you would land a tee shot when you hit it errant.
From the back tees?
Yeah.
I guess we could reach here. Maybe.
I don't know.
That'd be a fade.
That's why I don't think we would get in the trouble that Robert Garrigus got in, because we can't get down there
Well,
like he did.
Robert Garrigus, I don't know what he was thinking about. He should have been hitting 3-wood first.
Man, I had to get the first
second.
shot in.
You
didn't I?
did. You did. It's a little different, and there's a different feel. There's no question about it.
It
That
sure
was
is.
sort of in my not top story, but I'm going to use it right here.
It's palpable.
This Wednesday feels very different than it ever has. First off, normally we'd be watching friends go by playing with pros because we'd be in the heart of the afternoon flight of the Pro-Ams. And there is no Pro-Am. Here there is
And
an
Dave,
am, a celebrity am going on at Spring Creek. Of course, nobody knows what's going on there. I know Penny and Mike Norvell were playing with it in that. But that's really so different. And now these guys are using this like they would a major, like they would a Ryder Cup, maybe on a Tuesday. They are out in groups. Many, and this to me is different than years past when I ever watched people practice. There are a few that are playing games, so to speak, that are in twosomes and threesomes, but I see
Money
a
games?
lot of guys. Yeah,
You see a lot of game faces.
I see a lot of guys that are walking with three. It's weird. It's them, their caddy, and a swing coach. The swing coach has a backpack on. In the backpack is a Top Tracer or a TrackMan or whatever you want to, whichever brand name you're talking about, so they can see exactly what they're doing and why the ball is flighting that way. It's so much more scientific, and it's not fun and games. It is real business
Locked in.
that they're doing right now, and they don't walk just by themselves or with just a caddy. They got a third guy, and I think it's their coach.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that today. Good catch too, Dave. And it's a busy week. Let me get a shot in on me. We also have been in the past been up at the hub and watched a player that about 20 minutes after I picked him to win. One year, you and Goose and I picked Robert Allenby, and he comes walking by. Remember?
Yes.
With bag over his shoulder,
Yes.
and I'm going, why is he carrying? He had WD'd after I picked him.
I remember that.
And y'all laughed at me.
We snickered loudly.
You pointed and jeered.
You know what I was pointing, don't you? Scoreboard.
You sure were. That was great. I said, where's Robert Allenby going? He was going to the parking lot.
I to this day, I don't know what happened. I think he had some sort of an injury.
Yeah, that was before his famous issue. Out in Phoenix.
Well, right. Where he claimed he got beaten up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
That is. Where's Robert Allenby today? I
He's
wonder.
not here.
He's
We
not
won't
in the
pick-
top 50.
We won't pick him at 4.
I don't think he's at the Barracuda either.
John Goen will join us on site at 4 for golf picks and golf talk from Timber Trust Golf, as he does each and every Wednesday. He's the runaway leader right now. We can catch up on picks, though. Double the money this week for all of us, and he has already laughed at my pick for this week.
Who?
John has laughed at my pick.
Did he?
For this week.
You know what? I'm going to tell you where you're getting a lot of respect on your pick because I know your pick and none of us are going to take it, so it doesn't matter. Your pick is getting a lot of love from PGAtour.com fantasy section where they do experts picks and where they do power rankings, and he's well thought of even though he's well beyond the top 40.
All right, I did this interview about an hour ago with someone about our tournament. You answered the question that I got asked on Getaway Question there. Number one thing the winner on Sunday will have to have done over the 4 days. What will he have to done exceedingly well?
He'll have to keep it in the fairway.
I said down the irrigation line. Premium on accuracy. This course, it's straightforward, and it what you see is what you get. It's not a lot of bells and whistles.
I looked at some of the rough, and frankly, I've seen it at times, I think, worse, but it's still penal.
If it goes to the bottom,
if it goes to the bottom, you got a tough shot where you really pretty much have to just hack it out.
But I said driving is always big. You better, if you're going to do any picks with your buddies or anything, you better get someone that doesn't get too far out of the middle of the road.
We do want to thank the people that are having us out here today. We got a bunch. It takes a bunch for us to come out here because the prices, as Jack Salmon said, have gone up to be a part of this whole production. So we want to thank Landers Ford and our friend Kent Ritchie, Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf Center, Memphis Paints, Blues City Cafe, Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, all the gang, Jay Hasselman and the crew that really take care of you when you walk through the doors, and you know they're going to move later in this summer. Then there's Ronnie Grisani's, where you can even get a burger. You're going to love it. Gatlin Insurance, Curry and Jerk, Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. And it takes all of those folks to make this successful. We thank them all.
Well, we do. And after last week at SEC Media Days, this all goes hand in glove. You, the very, very important listener, caller, texter, watcher on the website, listening to the podcast, and then that translates into those businesses like that all-star list of business you just recited, the ones we had last week, the ones we have year-round. They respond to that because of you, the people. It does not happen without listeners, and the listeners drive the sponsors, and we appreciate the sponsors so much, so much. Come by and see us.
When you and we've talked about this a little bit yesterday, but when you see this field, you look around. I'm watching Dustin Johnson. He's with John Rahm, and he's with.
They can move it, can't they?
I think he was with Kisner. That's a heck of a group.
It is
to watch practice, and Dustin Johnson, from right about where he was last year, hit 3 golf balls. Just I don't know why on 18. None of them went in the hole. Just so you know.
Did when it mattered.
None of them missed the green, though, either.
Yeah, and this field is so deep, and it's so very international. There's going to be some names that, for me and a lot of us, that maybe we don't recognize, might be hard to pronounce. We may learn how to do it by Sunday afternoon. But a lot of the players in this field that haven't won one of the 4 majors, there's so many in this field that could be that in 2020. Could be in the Olympics a year from now in Tokyo, winning the gold medal at the Olympics.
The other thing that's different now than it used to be, and I don't remember this before, I guess during Pro-Ams they pretty much had to wear long pants. But Eli made this point, and I think he's right. They look so different in shorts. They look like us. They don't look like the authoritative strikers of the ball we look up to.
Dave, I didn't know Jim Furyk owned shorts. I mean, he's kind of an older guy. I
got to tell you, he's got some skinny legs. How does he get all that power?
But that hip move they all have. Jordan Spieth in shorts. I mean, looks like
he looks like a kid.
The kid out at the golf course.
He looks like a caddy.
Yeah,
it's different.
It is different to see them, and while focused on business and what is in front of them, and that purse and the FedEx Cup points that accompany it and all the exemptions. Really, to win this week in Memphis, if you hadn't won a major, it kind of makes a career.
I'm going to tell you, just for money, you want to make a career. Brooks Koepka doesn't have to worry about this, but if Brooks Koepka wins today, he would win. He'd lock it up. There is a $2 million bonus for having the most regular season points. They call it the Wyndham bonus. So if he were to win this tournament this week, he would make almost $4 million this week. That's why you got to think about Brooks Koepka as your pick, because how much more motivated could you be?
Right. And look, I don't care who you are, what you made. $4 million matters.
Think it matters to Tiger?
It does not.
When you're
matter.
making $60 million a year. All right, in endorsement. Well, let's take a look.
I don't know.
We were talking yesterday.
Hard to conceptualize.
We were talking yesterday about the you guys quitting the USA team, and I was saying I wouldn't do that for endorsement money. Zion Williamson signed his new deal. It's Nike. It's going to be the Jordan brand. Eventually, he'll have his own brand, but it's the Jordan brand. So his first deal, we know. No one's sure exactly what he got yet from the folks at Nike, but we know he turned down other shoe companies for $10 million a year. Before this guy takes one dribble on the NBA court, he's already making, we know, over $10 million a year.
Yeah, I can't imagine that kind of money and those options. But for Tiger Woods, if $4 million sitting there, I guarantee you he wants it before he's just going to leave it there. What do you think?
I do. If you're wondering, and if it's being picked up by the microphone, there's a guy. He's got some sort of an electric tool, and he's fixing
right over my
something.
head outside.
He is. I just saw him on the ladder. So it is a little distracting, but that's what happens.
Hey, can we run the drill bit later?
Radio. Anyway, I don't think it's affecting any of our equipment.
Drew, is it coming through?
That is for sure. Okay.
Loud and clear?
Yeah, I'm
can
hearing
we
it
run
pretty
the
loud.
drill bit later? Thank you.
It's not terribly loud, but you can notice it.
I got you.
Okay.
It's live radio, folks.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Beats cussing.
What else did you notice about today? I guess one of the other things that comes to my mind is all the amount of buildings. I have never seen as many structures as we do here. The media center is gigantic, and Jack Salmons made a point the other day of going, that was expensive to build and to take down, so eventually they're going to build an indoor tennis center probably for this club that will become the media center and big enough for a media center, but it is really deluxe. But the structures and the amount of infrastructure that has been built just for this one tournament is pretty darn amazing.
Is this the portion of the show that we might deal in rumor and innuendo on what we've heard today?
Sure.
I've heard that after this year and for sure after next year, going into at least the 2021 iteration of this, you could see a lot of golf course changes and you could see clubhouse changes. Maybe even the full, like they did the mothership at Ponte Vedra.
Well, okay. I think the clubhouse is
you heard
still,
anything like that?
No. I think the clubhouse is pretty darn nice, and we'll try to get somebody on to address that before our stuff is over here.
They did that in.
You can always make your clubhouse better. There's no.
They
no
did
question.
it in Hartford.
What would be the golf course changes would most interest me? Because honestly, a hole like number 8 is the one hole that I think
you to drill bit guy
is a waste. I don't think that's a great golf hole, but there's not too many holes here that I would change.
Oh, come on. We have a fundamental difference on a hole. We always have. I love, and it's never done anything for you. I'm one of the few people that loves it, and it has been changed and changed and changed.
Which?
8.
Oh, I told you. Yeah, that's the hole I think they could do without.
Yeah.
They could really change that. Put water in front of it. Do something.
They've tried everything but water in front of it, haven't they?
It to me, when
we'll get John going to weigh in on this because he was out here for a long time.
When Fuzzy Zeller and UB Green.
Yeah.
Fuzzy Zeller and UB Green. When they were constructing this golf course, I think they were walking around and they had 17 holes in mind, and they came to 8, and it's obviously between 7 and 9, and they were going, what are we going to do here? And this is what they came up with.
Dave, don't you think on a lot of courses that hole that doesn't fit, it's usually a par 3 that gets stuck in there?
Probably, because it's the easiest to make.
Because this year before the Masters, or maybe afterwards, you asked me, and there's just not a bad hole, right? Would you agree?
I would definitely agree there.
But there's one that even Alistair McKenzie, what do you count? Now, they've done a lot of stuff to it, and they've cleared out some of the cane. And
which hole don't you like?
Number 4, the long par 3.
Oh, I love that hole. I love that hole. That hole's impossible. That you have to hit a great shot, and usually it's a long iron even for them. If we're playing that, well, we're not playing their distance, but we're hitting a hybrid into that.
I'm hitting Big Bertha into that.
No, you're not. How do you not like that hole? What other hole do you not love here?
Sometimes I wonder about 13.
Oh,
I love 14.
I like 13.
I like the relaxed, it's simple nature of 15. The par 4 is easy.
15's beautiful.
15's beautiful. 16, you have that great reward before you take on the juggernaut of 17 and 18.
And they've done a great job of really bunkering that. I mean, you got to hit a great shot to get there in 2.
I kind of wish the tee would be moved over a little kind of to the right if you're standing on it on 10. and take a little left side out?
I think 10 is a really cool hole.
Okay.
I wouldn't change 10. I love 11. 12 is what you say.
You'll
13.
never look at me the same
I'm
saying
gonna
that
tell
about
you,
Ford and Augusta. Everybody has that look, and I said if forced to find one.
Well, I don't see how you could like 8 here and not and dislike 4 there, because that makes no sense to me.
I don't like any par 3 over 180 yards.
And I'm going to tell you
don't.
one other thing that I don't love is I don't love 18. I don't love.
That is heresy.
I don't
Here?
love a
That is
finishing.
heresy.
I don't love a finishing hole where you can't see the tee shot from the green, and half the time
Now-
you can't see the second
Now,
shot.
is that
depending on
announcer
where you are.
patron point of view or just general worldview?
That is just to view it, because you can watch everything on television.
Yeah.
So they've got that under control.
I really like 18 here, and it always comes into play, Dave. We've been out here.
You know what? To play it is a good hole.
Uh-huh.
Let me clarify. Playing it is a good hole because water comes into play on both your shots. I'm saying watching it is not a good finishing hole.
And, we've been out here since the first year. It moved out here after Jody Mudd got up and down on 17 and finished on 18 and 88 at Colonial out here in 89. We've been out here when there were no houses, Dave.
Right.
When we would park where they're, multi-million-dollar homes now. But through the years, I'm not so sure. Great moments, Dustin Johnson last year. But the wild scene on 18 when the putt went down for 25-year-old unknown, glasses on, bespeckled kid, Dickie Pride.
Dickie Pride?
That was a wild 18th green scene that year
That was.
in 94. That was fun.
That was one of the first times, I hate to say this, that I thought that the young kid with the glasses and not really experienced with success didn't know how to handle it. I do not think he was a gracious, good winner.
He grew up
and
after
then
that.
he really had to grow up
He did.
because he had
Health
he hit
travails.
some really tough times after that.
And really good guy now and loves this tournament. This portion of our show brought to you, this hour of our show brought to you every single day by the good folks at Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Give them a call at 901-362-8833. Lexus of Memphis offering the Golden Opportunity Summer Sales Event, the late July Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and always special lease options. If you ever thought I'd look great in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus of Memphis thinks you would look outstanding in one of their beautiful cars as well. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500, and you will be looking and driving in style. Lexus of Memphis, the highest standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design that makes for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com, 362-8833. That's 362-8833. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
That comes to me from the NBA because I've told you in the past how much I like Steve Kerr, not just because he was a great shooter for Michael Jordan's Bulls, not just because he worked his way into being the number one basketball analyst on TV before,
Great collegiate player at Arizona.
Before taking this job, and that his dad was an ambassador
in Beirut,
and unfortunately was assassinated. There's a lot of reasons why I think he's just a very interesting, cool human being. Today he was outspoken. He said, forced trades by players in the NBA. And he was really pointing the finger at Anthony Davis and what he did to the Pelicans. He says that is bad for the NBA. And I think the owners in the NBA agree. There have been a couple of stories about a meeting that was held in Vegas earlier in this year, and the league is going to try to do something about trade deadlines and about just exactly what was engineered by Anthony Davis.
Well, I think Steve Kerr, once again, is right, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
My top story, here comes the Red Sox. And here's the prescription of why. Roster, payroll, smart front office, great field manager, and time. They're also very well organized, very well operated. This baseball season is the ultimate marathon. It's hard for these heavy preseason favorites not to at some point get back in the mix. It makes it really difficult on teams like Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Oakland, and even Milwaukee to maintain, because size matters, payroll matters, and smart people matter.
Well, and the old axiom holds true. It's nothing new.
Money matters.
Trace the money.
Yeah.
If you want to see what's going on, always trace the money.
Not top story of the day.
You went Hal Linden there as deep throat, didn't you? Follow the money.
Follow the money.
All the president's men.
Exactly. It's true in everything, though.
It sure is sports. Facilities matter.
Oh, my gosh.
Brick and mortar matters.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a story along those lines, and it comes from a Division III college athletic director that you know and I know and love, Mike Clary. Mike told me a long time ago when they were talking about college athletics and things like the overall standings. Stanford always wins that because they got he said, if you really look hard, look at endowment at every level, and you will see by endowment where they normally place.
And that holds true.
It does.
My not top story.
I didn't get my not top
story.
story.
I thought that was it.
That's
I'm sorry.
okay. No,
interrupt you. Go ahead.
I was feeding off of yours.
No.
My not top story is the Cubs woes. It's baseball. I don't know if you have seen Addison Russell. Once
shocked.
I thought was going to be
I thought he was the elite
a
of the
perennial
prospects.
National League All-Star at shortstop, was sent down today, and I don't know if he'll ever be back in the majors.
They're good at Iowa
in a
this year,
Cub
too.
uniform. Yeah.
I was running off with that division.
And on top of that, John Lester, sick today, had to get pulled from the starting lineup. Who knows when he comes back?
What kind of ailment? It's not the big stuff he once had, is it?
I don't think so. I think it was more along the lines of a virus, but I'm not 100% certain. And then there's got one good bit of news. When Russell went down, they brought up Wilson Contreras, so the Cubs' top pitcher, an all-star, could be back in the lineup, and the Cubs need it. They've lost the last two games heartbreakingly. Last night in extra innings, 5-4. Both days, 5-4 to the Giants, who've been red hot. The Cubs can't win at home. Away from home. They cannot win unless they're at Wrigley Field, or so it seems.
Somebody to get separation in that Central will have to be good at home. The Cardinals get back home this weekend.
Do you have any idea what the Cubs score is today? We're up 1-0 early.
They were up 1-0 earlier. They are now up 1-0 in the bottom of the second, and the Milwaukee's pulled ahead of Cincinnati 5-4. My not top story, another sports figure, sadly, at the end of his career, and even more sad, flat broke. Adrian Peterson, who made over $100 million in just on the field in career earnings, is now sadly broke. And it's sad, and this is not on the owners. This is a players' association thing across sports. That's who's got to be the most vigilant about this.
Spot on. I mean, it's not the owners are giving them the money.
I did what I was supposed to do to you.
Right.
You played, I paid.
And I got to say, I read the story, and Adrian Peterson is, or his people now are blaming those that he trusted. Where do we cross the line where the player himself has to understand
it's on me
what he's doing?
Yeah.
If he's smart enough to make the money, I'm not saying that he should be the guy that figures out where I'm going to invest, but
I don't know that I'd be capable of that.
But he's got to know this. He's got to know, wait, I've got X amount coming in. I can't spend more than I'm bringing in. That is fundamental, and anybody should be able to figure that out. There is absolute blame on Adrian Peterson. He should not just
I hate it for him,
put it off
I don't
on somebody else.
I don't want to crush him. I want to crush the players' associations across sports, that they've got to quit having these nightmare-ending stories for guys. We don't need another player to have to go through that, play his whole life, and at the end of it, not have anything.
And those are your top and not top stories of the day.
Adrian Peterson, what you think, 35 years old? How old?
I'd say that's about right. Ballpark.
He's got 35, 40 more years to live.
It
should have been the easy life.
It should have been. He should have been able to sit back out of that $100 million. If you take care of your money, you're going to have half of it. If you can't live on the interest of $50 million, something is wrong with you. As you used to, I always like quoting you because of the miracle of compounding interest. You should be able to live like a king. I'll let you know this portion of the show is brought to you by the good folks at Sleepy Z's, Michael Zellner's place in Bartlett, Kirby, Whitten Road, and Summer Avenue, where you're always going to save 50 to 80% off on mattresses. That's why it's the #1 mattress store in Memphis 4 years in a row. The other's Michael Zellner. He's there every day, and they're open 7 days a week. And Michael is all about saving you money. 50 to 80% off on those mattresses, and we're talking Serta, Simmons Beauty Rest, others. There's other off brands that are really comfortable, really spectacular, and the savings, well, they're simply amazing. If you mention, by the way, Wallow, Stats, Sports 56, 10% more right off the top of the line, and then there's furniture, and that's Signature designed by Ashley. That's Benchcraft. There's a kiosk full of furniture, too. If you don't see it on the floor, you'll find it in the kiosk. All you got to do is find Sleepy Z's. Kirby Whitten Road, Summer Avenue in Bartlett. Sleepy Z's by Michael Zellner, where you never wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Here is the lineup coming your way. We got Chris Raby next from St. Louis. John Goen on Golf Picks, and we got two. This one here in the Barracuda. Doug Bell from Sirius XM Golf Radio at 4:30. TJ Reeves down in Tampa at 5. Rex Hoggard from the Golf Channel. He will come your way at 5:30. It'll be crunch time at 5:50. We're loaded and we're having fun. We're at the hub at TPC Southwind, and this is Sports Time with Wallow and Stats.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a seat for Happy Hour. Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The show is about to begin.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Have you noticed your air conditioning system never breaks down at a good time? We know at Conway Services the timing is never right to replace your air conditioning system. That's why we have financing options. Right now, during the dog days of summer, get your new Carrier air conditioning system as low as $99 per month. That's right, Conway Services has new Carrier air conditioning systems as low as $99 per month. Now, you can do that. Plus, your new air conditioning system comes with a 10-year parts warranty and a free programmable thermostat. And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf with their sizzling summer savings specials. Look for hot deals on items like TaylorMade TP5 Picks golf balls, now 2 dozen for only $80. Cleveland CBX wedges for only $99.99. That's a $30 savings. And save up to $200 on Rogue irons. Just a few of the hot specials you'll find now at Edwin Watts Sizzling Summer Savings. Edwin Watts, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, serving golfers since 1968.
For the World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational, the all-new Lenders Ford South in South Haven supplied 200 new Fords for the pros to drive, and they're all being sold with demo prices. 120 new 2019 Ford Expedition XLT EcoBoost up to $15,000 off MSRP.
A portion of the proceeds going to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Visit LendersMemphis.com.
VIN number 1MFMJU 1HT7KE A06845 MSRP 61,250. Offer includes $97.80 and Ford rebates and $52.20 dealer discount. Sale price $46.20. Vehicle subject to prior sale. Price plus tax, title license and $499.50 processing fee. Offer in 7/31/19.
The World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational makes its debut at TPC Southwind, July 24th through 28th.
Join me, Justin Thomas, when I defend my title at TPC Southwind. Tickets are on sale at WGCFedEx.com.
WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational is going down this week with the deepest field Memphis has ever seen. So to set it off right, we teamed up with a Memphis tradition like no other. East End Bar and Grill, Miller Coors, and of course, we are inviting all the wonderful people of the Mid-South to come out this Thursday, July 25th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. to East End Bar and Grill to win tickets to the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational, plus free swag from Miller Coors and more. And always keep it locked to Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Now, back to Sports Time with Waldo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Wolochen and Brett Norsworthy.
Welcome back. Midway through our favorite week of the year, that would be the WGC FESJ. I finally got that. You notice how smooth that was?
I knew you'd get it.
Yeah, it takes a while for me.
Old Dogs, New Tricks thing.
Yeah.
Chris Raby to talk baseball with us from KMOX in St. Louis. First Bank, we're so happy to be associated with them. Our text line, 67129. Our phone lines, 360-8255. Last week in Birmingham at SEC. This week, all week, year-round, First Bank. So good to us and so good to you. Newer to Memphis, but not to Tennessee. First Bank, third largest bank, headquartered in the state of Tennessee, and now 4 great locations in Memphis. 6842 Poplar by International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 in Bartlett, new location in Germantown, and a location in Oakland. Experienced Memphis bankers that you know and trust. First Bank, they have stories and a record of customers reaching high. Community banks are the preferred lender of people building a success story, and you need to build your success story with First Bank. Bill Harder from First Bank will join us on Friday from the golf course, so they're all big golfers and sports fans. They'll be with us on Friday afternoon. Build your success story with First Bank. That's First Bank Memphis. Visit them at firstbankonline.com, firstbankonline.com.
Last time we talked with our friend Chris Raby, I was bragging all 3 of those National League Central teams at the top, winning. And his team still winning. The Brewers are winning today. The Cubs can't win away from Wrigley Field. And this race, again, has gotten so tight within those top 3 teams. Good afternoon, Chris. How are you?
I am doing great. I am very envious of you guys. I wish I could be down at Southwind this weekend. I have a bunch of buddies from all over the place that are headed down to the tournament. And you guys said it best, always one of the best weeks of the year for one of the greatest causes in the world. But, yeah, the baseball is heating up a little bit over these last couple of days.
And who do you think will separate? I think it would be critically important, master the obvious, really, win at home and just kind of whatever you get out on the road, gravy. The last 2 nights have been rock fight, scratch your eyes out wins for the Cardinals. They were able to win. What do you think will be the key of separating from these 3 teams, Chris?
Well, the only way you're going to separate is to win in the division, Brett. And, the Cardinals had an opportunity coming out of the break to take care of business in the division, and they've done that. And I know that Cincinnati over the last 2 years, and even Pittsburgh, maybe hasn't been the most formidable of opponents, but, only 4.5 games separated the Cubs from the bottom of the division and the Reds at the break. So coming out of the break, the Cardinals had a chance to really drive a stake into Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and they've done that. So the fact that the Cardinals have, played very well against the National League Central here out of the break. They're 22-19, 3 games above 500 over the Central right now, which the Cubs are 3 games above 500 against Central teams. The Brewers are 4 games above 500. So something's going to have to give when the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Brewers all start playing each other. But, for the Cardinals to start to scratch out some of these wins, start to pick up some more wins on the road, start to beat some teams that are at or just below 500, that's been a really good sign because you have to take advantage of those soft spots and the divisional matchups in your schedule.
Well, there's no question that if Chicago's going to win, they're going to have to learn how to win away from Wrigley Field. They're brilliant there, 36-18, but they're now, I believe, 11 games under 500 away. Like St. Louis, only 8 games over 500 at home, but 3 games under 500 on the road. They play okay on the road. Same for the Brewers. If the Cubs don't start winning away from Wrigley Field, I don't think they can win this division.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have won 5 of their last 6 on the road. And you've got to beat teams that are below 500. So that's been really, I think, a focus for this Cardinals team, and the fact that they've been able to do it in different ways. For a while, it was the starting pitching that was keeping them right at about 500. They're still waiting on a couple of guys to get back from injury, whether it's Matt Carpenter and Marcelo Zuna and Yadier Molina. They're hoping that Carpenter and Paul Goldschmidt kind of turn things around, but we've seen some flashes here, I think, over the last couple of games. And a couple of games the Cardinals have won on the road. They've done it in come-from-behind fashion. They've done it with good starting pitching. They've done it with a great bullpen. They've done it with, small ball. They've done it with home runs. So I think we're kind of starting to see the Cardinals put some things together. And, again, just so important to take advantage of these head-to-head divisional matchups, because now, what they've done over the last week, going back to their matchup with the Pirates at Busch Stadium, they turned a 3-game lead over the Pirates and Reds into they're now 6.5 in front of Cincinnati and 7 in front of Pittsburgh, and the Cubs are 7 in front of Cincinnati and 7.5 in front of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's dropped to the bottom of the division, so it's pretty stark what's happened in the last week or so.
Chris, I'm driving home last night after going to the Redbirds game and seeing Matt Carpenter in person. It was a little bit of a scuffle last night for him. He's not, my view of it, he's not anywhere near 100%. He's going to be back in the lineup tonight. He needs, at least a little, if not a lot of time to get well. And I'm driving home and I'm listening to this friendly voice on KMOX talking to the Cardinals. It was you, our friend Chris Raby, and you made a case. And I don't know if I've heard it enunciated, and I don't know if I hadn't even thought about it, but you laid it out well. Rookie of the Year competition from Mississippi State Bulldogs, Dakota Hudson.
Yeah, why not? He's been incredible. Is now 10-4, I believe, after the and home run Chris Bryant, 3-0 Cubs. 10-4 after
Thank
the win
you,
last
Chris.
night.
You would
you
not believe the face on Brett Norsworthy
He went to
when
sad
you
face.
delivered that news.
Emoji sad face.
I thought it was going to be like in St. Louis against
hey,
the
Brett,
Rangers in the World Series. I thought he was going to fall off his chair.
I went from talking about my favorite Mississippi State Bulldog then to sad face.
Hey, Brett, don't worry. The Giants have come from behind to beat the Cubs the last 2 games. So
Don't
we'll see what
remind
happens
me.
tonight. But,
We know.
Yeah, but, Hudson has been so good this year for the Cardinals. And I think sometimes with pitchers especially, we forget if they've seen like they've been around for a while or if it seems like, they contributed in a big way the year before. But the fact that he's 10-4 now with 3.61 ERA, the Cardinals have won 11 of his last 12 starts. And it's no coincidence. It's no luck. His ERA over that stretch is 3.01, which is in the top 10 in Major League Baseball. He's leading Major League Baseball in ground ball rate. He's not giving up home runs. He's not giving up a lot of fly balls. He's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, and he's being really efficient. And I think maybe the biggest thing that Hudson and the Cardinals have going for them right now is because, 2 years ago he banked 150 pro innings between AA and AAA. Last year, about 140 between AAA and then out of the bullpen in St. Louis. I think they can kind of take the reins off him this year. And while he might not be the guy who goes out and, gets 12 or 15 strikeouts, may not be Jack Flaherty or Carlos Martinez in terms of their swing and miss stuff. What he does do is pitch really efficiently, kind of perfectly to the mold of, a Dave Duncan guy. Just kind of the sinker baller is really efficient. He's almost, I think, kind of like Kyle Hendricks the first couple of years that he came up, and the way he was able to pitch deep into games and stick around, and all of a sudden it's the 6th, 7th inning, and, even if it took him 28 pitches last night to get to the first, he didn't even record an out before giving up 3 runs. You look up, and he goes 6 1/3, giving up just the 3 and doing it on 84 pitches. So he's been great. I think he deserved some attention, and for a guy that really fought to win that 5th spot in the rotation, and for a rotation that I think people were thinking about Carlos and Alex Reyes. Jack Flaherty's had his certainly moments this year, but it's been Dakota Hudson and Adam Wainwright, who goes tonight, who have really been the 2 steadiest guys for this club this year.
We're talking about the parity in the National League Central, particularly the 3 at the top. And I referenced you the other day because you made a point earlier this year when you were talking about how healthy you thought Major League Baseball was, healthy enough where it could afford to expand by a couple of teams if it wanted to. And I think that if you look, and there are some super teams, we know the Dodgers are the best in the National League, certainly by record. You look what New York's doing, even with all their injuries. Minnesota's maybe a bit of a surprise. But if you look, there's only three teams, I think two that are really stinkers. Miami and Baltimore are the two really bad teams. Brett threw in the Mets. Other than that, baseball has so many good teams.
Yeah, and the Mets still have a couple of legitimate stars and potential. I think DeGrom's a superstar. Syndergaard maybe, but with Pete Alonso, and so if they hold on to those guys, and I think, guys, that the reason that is because even if teams aren't going out, and I know players and agents can get mad, and certainly my San Diego Padres pick doesn't look very good after last week as they've lost 8 of their last 10, but teams can
Cubs
get mad.
did them in.
Yeah, and players and agents can get mad and say that, no one's trying to win. Garrett Cole said last week, there are a bunch of teams that just aren't trying to win in Major League Baseball. And I understand what the players are saying, and, gone are the days of, Mike Leake getting $100 million, which is probably a good thing. Gone are the days of Jason Hayward getting $240 million and, 2 opt-outs, which is probably a good thing. But, even the teams that aren't spending incredible amounts of money, like Toronto right now, or teams up and down. I'm looking at the standings, like the Mets with Pete Alonso. Although they spent some money, they're bringing young players up, and they're bringing their best young players up earlier than maybe they would have in the past. The Padres, like I said last week, they spent money, and then they still brought up Fernando Tatis Jr. So even if the industry is shifting away from the mega dollars for 30-plus-year-old players, I think it's embracing the fact that these 19, 20-year-olds can come up, and they can help us right now. And even if we lose a year of control, we're still going to sign them to a reasonable extension, before they hit free agency, so that year of control doesn't matter. So I think from an entertainment standpoint that it's probably better to bring the young players up and have some of the 19, 20, 21-year-olds, the Pete Alonsos, the Vladimir Guerrero Juniors, the Fernando Tatis Juniors, have those guys up as opposed to giving, $300 million to Albert Pujols at age 32. And because of that, I think you're seeing a lot of these teams that will be able to spend money down the road and will be able to be more competitive. And, maybe the National League wildcard race right now is competitive because nobody's really separated themselves from the pack, but it's also because there's a lot of talent on every team. I can go down right now, even teams that have been, disappointing, like the Mets. And like I just said, you can name some star players, like the Rockies, like Arizona, like San Francisco, who's still kind of scuffling around. And they, could have sold off a bunch of their players and tanked a couple of years ago, and they didn't. So which is it? Do we want teams to tank and to try to rebuild, or do we want teams like the Giants to try to continue to be competitive? And here they are, just a couple of games out of a playoff spot. So, I think from a talent standpoint and from a distribution of talent standpoint, outside of maybe a couple of outliers, that, it's in a pretty good spot.
I'm 100% with that line of thought, and that's why MLB is MLB, and the NBA is not. And the MLB regular season is a lot better.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think that, the difference, too, is just that in the NBA, the way that the teams have kind of conglomerated around the West, it makes things really hard. But I think the Grizzlies are a perfect example of, what you can do if you say, okay, even in a small market, we're going to stretch ourselves up to the tax and spend a ton of money and, pay Conley and pay Marc Gasol and, make decisions to try to compete. But then they kind of played it perfectly. It helps they got the number 2 pick, but they kind of played it perfectly in the fact that, they competed for as long as they could with that core. I think they did right by the fans with Zebo and Tony Allen and Gasol and then eventually Conley. And now they have a couple of really exciting young players and in the next year or two, some incredible payroll flexibility. So they're kind of doing it the right way and doing it without really tanking. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I know the discussion in Memphis was, you want to keep the pick or convey the pick? And that turns into the number 2 pick and, a cornerstone and 2 cornerstone pieces of the future moving forward.
That was fortunate, and you're right, that turned out to be terrific. Chris Raby from KMOX.
Thanks,
who knows who'll be in first place in the National League Central when we talk next week.
And you sounded great last night. And you notice, Chris, both you and Tom Ackerman at KMOX, when the Cardinals are going along well, you don't ever get any text from me. They lose, I blame it all on y'all.
Yeah. Hey, who do you guys have this week in Memphis?
DJ.
Tyrell Hatton. And I'm serious.
Tyrell Hatton move.
and I'm serious, Chris. Chris, everybody's laughed at me when I picked it.
That came to him when he was walking out of his therapist's office.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Chris.
Head down to Tunica and lay down some ducking.
Tyrell Hatton. Yeah. Thanks, pal. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Thanks, boys.
You got it. Oh, this summer I have so enjoyed that good summer breeze I felt against my face all summer. The song, who did Summer Breeze?
Seals and Crofts.
I felt it all summer because of shaving with Harry's. One of the best ways to stay cool this summer, a close, comfortable shave with Harry's. Get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just use stats at harrys.com. Harry's believes you shouldn't have to trade great quality for a low price. You deserve both. Harry's, they own a factory in Germany that's been making some of the best blades in the world for nearly a century, and Harry's cares about giving back. 1% of sales are donated to charitable organizations. This summer, Harry's has a special offer for listeners of our show. New customers get $5 off the trial set from Harry's with offer code STATS at harrys.com. That means you get a razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping when you use stats at harrys.com. And when you run out, remember, Harry's replacement cartridges are just $2 each. And if you prefer to shop in a store, Harry's razors are also available at Walmart and Target. When I shave with Harry's.
We are in the Family Leisure Studio. Yeah, it's moved. It's moved to Southwind this week. And a reminder, summer's just started. There's plenty of time to swim. So make a splash at Family Leisure. Pool clearance going on right now. Plenty of opportunities available. We're only really just starting into the pool weather. Make yourself a bunch of cash by going out to Family Leisure, Whidden Road and I-40, where family and fun all come together. We take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this very first hour here live at Southwind of Wallow and Stats.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof, hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five-Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
We're with Daryl, and I understand a couple of years ago you couldn't walk. What happened?
I suffered literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have what they call extreme osteoarthritis in both knees. I have bone spurs in the front of my knees, bone spurs in the back, as well as calcium deposits, which contribute to the decreased range of motion. I had a severe limp, especially on my right side, because I couldn't put any real weight on my right knee. So I started investigating options to relieve the pain. And of course, I knew about total knee replacements and Synvisc injections, cortisone injections. So I found Dr. Schrader online, and we had a consult. And stem cell injections literally changed my life.
When did you know you were better?
I literally limped in there, had the procedure done, and you wait about 30 minutes after it's done, and I literally walked out. I did not limp. I was pain-free. It was that immediate.
Call 901-465-4300 and see how Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell can help you today.
Need to get organized? Today is the day for doing with the Home Depot's Pack Store Save event. Put your basement or garage in order with a range of Husky welded steel shelves, including a 4-tier 77-inch rack, just $169. That'll save you $30. Easy to assemble, each shelf has a lifetime warranty and holds up to 1,500 pounds. That gets a lot out of your way. Come into the Pack Store Save event, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid until August 25th while supplies last.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar? Your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Back in. We will be making golf picks here in a little bit for this field and for the Barracuda, which
all right, last week
I have no...
The jingle to the barbershop commercial was in my head. With the Barracuda, you know what's in my head? The hard hit from the 70s, Barracuda.
You know who did that, don't you?
It was Hart, wasn't it?
Bingo.
Yeah,
you got that one right. I'm so proud of you.
How come I couldn't remember Summer Breeze? I always wanted to say that Seals and Croft.
It is Seals and Croft.
No,
you said somebody else.
I said Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, didn't I?
Yeah, well, I don't even think you said them.
I don't even know if I had Young.
I mean, you absolutely mangled it. Really,
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, they needed about two more people to have the world's longest name of a band, didn't they?
Yeah.
Throw in two more. They all did okay independent of each other.
They did. One of the great things when you come to the Hub, you never know who you will run into. Celebrities galore. Here is Steve Conley, the famed voice of all over the place for many, many years. A guy who, by the way, can play a little golf himself.
Hang on just a second, Steve. Let me in.
There is Steve Conley. What, did you lose your place, or have you already taped your show? What's the story?
Let's not talk about that.
Oh.
It's the magic of radio. This is
see.
live, and I'm not. But I couldn't hear what you were saying before, but whatever it was.
It was very nice.
Oh,
and
thank
you.
you.
Should appreciate me. And
I appreciate it. I do. Absolutely. You're the king here in the afternoon. I love it, man. It's good to meet this man for the first time.
No,
Brett.
That's the first time you've ever
Absolutely.
met Brett Norsworthy?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. He sounds, I mean, he is as handsome as he sounds on the radio. I'll tell you that.
This whole thing with his look on camera and everything, it's amazing how he is going to milk this forever. Real quick, you've been to almost every one of these golf tournaments.
Sure.
You're walking around today.
Yeah.
What has impressed you the most? Your first
The whole
observation?
thing is impressive. I mean, just walking into this club before on 18, it was always the luxury suites and the corporate boxes and stuff like that. And, and now the public can come in here, cool off a little bit, have an experience with a lot of different things, see you guys broadcast. And it's from top to bottom, this is world class. It is an elite event now in golf, and it's just exciting to have this in Memphis in the global the global exposure. Mm-hmm. Have you been to the press area? I have not.
I have. Yes.
You have.
Oh, Steve, it's pinch yourself worthy, isn't it? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, first
this
off,
is big time.
It really is.
The technology they have in these tents, like the golf center. I just was in the FedEx Cabana, which is what they now have right above 18. That's where I'll be doing the PA announcing on Saturday and Sunday.
You are doing
That's where they're putting us. And I cannot believe that that's a tent. And, you realize the expense that must go in to this technology to build these kinds of things, only to take them down basically the next week.
I was just looking at the bunting alone for all of the the signage, the fences line every house. So now, Mike Rivalto and his people can't just walk across their backyard.
That's right. Those days are over.
Exactly right.
Oh, and she's hacked off because they put the big FedEx merchandise tent right in front of their house. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's tough. But this is a fantastic event, and it just makes you proud. I've read that this is Steve, without a doubt the biggest, I guess, sporting event in Memphis. I'm not sure if all of Memphis understands.
We're going to figure out tomorrow. Your friend Kevin Kane is going to join us. He's joining us in 4 o'clock hour, and I really want to know what the effect will be, because I've read anywhere from $40 to $60 million. Right. How much that is trickle down effect? How much that is really cash coming in? That's amazing. And the other great thing about it is it's every year. This is not like the NCAA tournament that comes once every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
This will be every year where the 50 greatest golfers will be on hand.
What is it, a 5-year contract? Is that right?
No one knows the length. Everybody thinks about 10 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No one knows for sure, but it's out there.
Yeah. And you just pray for weather like this, because if the schedule continues, they're coming off of the refrigerator coming into the oven potentially, and But
Steve Connolly, being the veteran you are, we're up against the top of the hour.
Yeah. Hard break.
We got bills to pay. Times are tough.
It's a hard break.
Thank you,
pleasure meeting you.
Always good to see you.
We'll get out there and
we got to very quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's Steve Connolly. We're back in a minute. When we come back, John Gowen joins us. Time to make some golf picks and talk about the WGC FESJI. This is Sports Time with Wallo and Stats.
No matter what your past credit, no matter how much you owe on your trade, no matter if you tried to buy at another deal and were turned down, Sunrise Buick GMC can get you financed. There's never been a better time to trade. Sunrise has hundreds of new vehicles and over $5 million in used car inventory, specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. Sunrise has the lowest prices and will not be undersold. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, Sunrise gets you financed when no one else can. Check out the inventory and apply online at sunrisememphis.com. The blowout sale going on now at all Sunrise locations, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. When generic insurance takes hold, one handsome man and one flightless bird are teaming up to save the world. Money. Their message? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Their mission? Savings. Their relationship? Best friends. Say hello to Liberty Mutual's new spokes team. And Doug.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
The Acura Summer of Performance event is going on now at Acura of Memphis. Test drive one of our award-winning models today. Each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore. It should be an adventure. Advance your drive today. Shop our aggressive lease and finance options now. The thrill is waiting at Acura of Memphis. Shop online 24/7. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC.
WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational is going down this week with the deepest field Memphis has ever seen. So to set it off right, we teamed up with a Memphis tradition like no other. East End Bar and Grill, Miller Coors, and of course, we are inviting all the wonderful people of the Mid-South to come out this Thursday, July 25th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. to East End Bar and Grill to win tickets to the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational, plus free swag from Miller Coors and more. And always keep it locked to Sports 56 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time with Wallo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloschin and Brett Norsworthy.
Welcome back into TPC Southwind, the hub. That's where the Family Leisure Studios is right now. It's great to be out here. It really is. We got a guy who probably knows this course better than anybody, better than the pros that are here, that's for sure. John Gowen's going to join us in a minute. We do want to let everybody know why we're out here, how they make it possible. We are so thankful to Landers Ford, the Half Shell, Roosters Men's Grooming Center, First Bank, Jason's Deli, Vantage Point Golf Center, Memphis Paints, Blues City Cafe, Miller Lite, Edwin Watts, Ronnie Grisani's, Gatlin Insurance, Curry and Jerk, Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center again. Couldn't be out here without those guys because it is not cheap to be out here. I can tell you that. And we do appreciate all of their partnership. In the meantime, John Gowen joins us now. We got 2 different tournaments. We got to pick players. We know horses for courses. Your guy is, I don't know what you're doing, Brett Norsworthy, but
it hadn't gone over well, John.
Nobody knows this course as well as you do. You've probably walked around a little bit today. Give me your impression of the condition, toughness, whatever it may be, compared to the years when you were here.
I mean, for what we have had rain-wise, weather-wise, to the this last, let's call it, month and a half, I think the golf course overall is in pretty good shape. You can definitely tell that it looks soft, and I think it's going to be soft, which I think is really going to lead to some pretty low scores, lower than we have seen here probably since the renovation in 2004.
Wow. So you think DJ's 19 under gets beaten?
I think it's got a really good chance to get beaten because I don't see that the golf course is going to be able to dry up enough over the span of the next few days in order to, really kind of make the scoring go down or go up, I guess is what I should say. Mm-hmm. So I think the overall scores, I think there is the potential of definitely beating 19.
Wow.
Obliterating it?
I don't think obliterating it, but we're not back to the John Cook 27 under par days. But I think somebody could definitely get to 20 this week.
The combination of it's that soft and spongy, and these guys are that good.
I think so. Look, the golf course is going to play longer, so there might be a bit of an overreaction here. But with as good as this field is, with as good as these players are, I just think that there's a possibility that you could see something in the 20s this week.
Wow. We were talking, and I like most of the golf holes on this course quite a bit. One I don't like is 8. He likes it. And what brought this up, and maybe you are privy to some information, maybe you'll just speculate. But we've heard there could be not just infrastructure changes, maybe a new clubhouse done in the next few years, but that there could be changes to the golf course. Are you aware of any, and if so, what might those changes be?
So they're definitely doing a bunker renovation after the event. That will start August 1 is what my understanding is, or within the next couple of weeks. They are also going to be doing some work to the 3rd fairway and the 7th fairway, drainage-wise, new grass, a different strain of zoysia grass called Zeon zoysia, much more shade tolerant. We've already had it put in on the 15th fairway when I was still here, and that fairway is probably one of the best fairways out here right now. It's a better overall shade tolerant grass, and if you think about those spots, left to 7, there's quite a few trees, and there's some obviously up the right hand side that protect that side of the hole a little bit. The 3rd fairway clearly has it all down the left-hand side, right. And then initially up the right-hand side before you get to the lake. So that grass is going to be good there. They've redone the 8th hole twice when I was here during the original renovation in 2004, and then right before I left, we actually got to this green that is currently out here, this hole that's currently out there on the 8th hole. Look, there is anything going forward after that is probably speculation. I think we've touched on a little bit. I think adding another tee box behind the cart path on 4 to make that par 3 a little bit more challenging would be good. I would like that shot over the water. They would probably need to fix that green and make the green a bit deeper, and kind of change that, enlarge it probably a little bit, keep the initial shape. But I
don't have a problem with 4 as it is.
Right.
You could make it harder if you put it over the water. I get that. But it's 8. I don't know if you use water. Something's got to change with 8 because it's the one bad hole. And even though they've tried to fix it twice, it never gets better.
Yeah. So with 8, there's been conversations again of removing some of the trees on the right-hand side, pulling the tee box back up to on the hill, back kind of in that back right area, and lengthening that hole. So again, therefore, you could go in, kind of enlarge that green, and really kind of change, how that hole is going to set up. I think that 8 is going to be a challenge, ultimately, regardless of what you do there, because there's just nothing there that would make that hole stand out.
Dave said water in front.
Yeah, but I guess I just don't understand where, you'd have to think about where it flows off and runs off. Right. And, so where does that go if you ultimately do put water in front? Then you're having to go in and obviously create that because there's really nothing there.
Yeah. No, it would not be natural.
Right. So,